Hello, hello, and welcome to the Crown Cup Season 3 Rookie Division Final. Here tonight, we have a wonderful best of seven between Finducks and MC Solstice. I am Vanya Zeus, joined by Maxu. Maxu, are you pumped?
I am definitely pumped. Consider me pumped. No, this is so exciting because there's been such a lower bracket run this tournament, and now we're ending up with this best of seven hopefully.
Yeah,
And yeah,
hopefully.
it's yeah, hopefully. No,
I
it's
mean,
super exciting with what we can see here now as well, because when I went back and checked for the results before, it was a 3-0 for Finducks last
yeah,
time they met.
yeah. I really want this to go all the way. MC Solstice did lose to Finducks in the upper bracket semi final, but they've put on a good showing this tournament. They ranked higher than them in the Swiss stage, I believe, and coming through the bottom division, they did go 3-0 against Mystic Coven. So I'm pretty excited to see what this team's going to be able to do. I think that there's a real chance that MC Solstice have learned from their previous match with Finducks, and they're potentially going to bring out some new stuff that their opponents might not be expecting, which I'm really excited for, especially given that we just got a new patch and now Reaper's meta for the first time in like 2 years.
Yeah, yeah, Reaper's pretty good. The big shotgun guy.
Yeah.
He's my favorite character. What's that quote again? I can't remember off the top of my
Uh,
head anymore. Somebody drop in the chat. I don't know. But yeah, this
die, die,
this is
die.
die die die. I guess yeah. The Reaper's actually been pretty decent last patch as well
Yeah.
already, but I don't know. It's just so weird to see all of these teams pop up with very, especially I'm thinking of teams like Team Z in North America for OWCS, right, where they
Yeah.
have a basically Genji one trick in Peace and a Tracer one trick in Ryan, and obviously that's very easy to ban out. So both of them are just swapping around playing the Reaper because
Yeah.
he's just I don't know, it's interchangeable in terms of flex DPS, hit scan DPS sometimes. Uh,
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to how our teams today implement those changes.
Absolutely. And with Sojourn and Cassidy being slightly weaker now with the 25%, 25 health reduction, I'm interested to see how that's allowing other duelists to come into the meta and be worth playing over them. It's definitely weakened the hit scan role more, or like the main DPS role, because you can
Yeah,
no longer necessarily justify playing those characters as much or in every situation, and that's genuinely really healthy for the game. I don't think they're necessarily bad characters. I just think that they shouldn't have been as strong as they were for so long. But I'm
yeah,
excited now they
that's
are,
a valid
and I'm excited
point.
to see what happens.
No, definitely. Also it's just so difficult for a lot of these teams that have those very adept players for those hit scan main DPS roles. So swapping over to this very weird meta, as I think I'm allowed
Yeah,
to put it that way.
yeah,
It as I said,
it's
it's not really double flex DPS, but it's not really hit scan and flex DPS either.
no, and I mean we're gonna start in about 7 minutes. It's going to be interesting to see how this new meta forms around the maps, because it's, I mean, potentially seven. We're starting with control, then going to hybrid, then escort, then flashpoint, then push, then escort and control again. And
Yep,
I'm
very much
really
so.
interested to see how far this goes. We do actually have the capability of seeing the same map in this one set. Hopefully, the teams want to integrate more maps into their pool here. But if they don't, if they win on an earlier map, they could always reset and choose the same one again, because they know it's a comfort pit. They know it's something they've done before and can do again. It's not necessarily a given, but if they can do it, I would honestly respect to it.
Yeah, definitely. And from what those teams have submitted for us so far, there's definitely potential for them to pick different maps on different stages of this this tournament, this finals, because they don't necessarily agree on all of them. Well, they do both like Lijiang Tower and Soravasa, but I'd say Route 66 and Circuit Royale are very different maps. So that definitely has some fuel that can be ignited here. It would be really interesting to see which team actually gets to pick those maps and what map we're going to, and if they're even going to be those maps, or if the teams decide, nope, from what we've seen in the first couple maps, we are not going to play our comfort pick.
Yeah, I'm really, really excited to see these teams. I mean, it's truly going to be a brilliant match, in my opinion. The Finducks is an entirely Finnish team. That's really interesting to me. I am excited to see what they can do. As someone who's going to Finland in a year or so, it'll be a lot of fun to see if I can be like, hey, I cast for a Finnish team when I go there. And then MC Solstice coming from uh, all around Western Europe, so Belgium, Cameroon, um,
Yeah,
Dutchland. That's not it. I forgot what it's called. That's gonna annoy me. It's
Netherlands.
Dutch.
It's Netherlands.
Netherlands, then Britain, and ones from Britain and Jamaica. So that's a lot of fun. That's really interesting. That's really exciting to me.
Yeah, a lot
And
of those double nationalities on that team. Very cool
yeah,
to see.
yeah, uh, brilliant. And I sorry, I just have to give a real quick shout out to the production team here. They're so good, especially Ember and Anarchy and Ebroth. Ebroth worked to make a website where we can literally pull stats mid match. It's so awesome. It has been such a big help this entire tournament. And then Anarchy's organized everything, and Ember's been observing most of these matches. Really, really cool showing from them. I really have so much respect for all of them, and they've truly made all this possible.
Yeah, I can guarantee if Zeus and me were like just doing this by ourselves, the viewing experience would be horrendous. I'm not trying to be offensive to you here there, but
No,
but
no, that wouldn't be one.
well, I agree.
Guys, what's a Twitch?
Yeah, but at least we'd say thank you for all the Twitch subs coming in, right? There we go. There
Yeah,
we
we
go.
wouldn't get
Pay
any.
us. No, also looking at our little cheat sheets, these teams have been very creative with what they've said for additional information about their players. I want to highlight Solstice for a second here. So we have Scars, who can leg press 500 kilograms, in comparison to Panic, who can't leg press 15 kilograms. That's very relevant information. How do you think this will play into this current meta? Do you think this will
I mean,
affect the Reaper pick at all?
I mean, it depends if you're using gas pedals or not. You know, you gotta have a pedal in your system. How else do you think we'll manage to go around the map so fast? Um,
Can't agree with your
another
logic.
couple of these homo flexible, a flex for or a sub in for MC Solstice likes Ariana Grande, and Flamey another sub like plays Cash Royale during games. Honestly, have to respect the grind. Playing two esports at once, only some people can do it.
And that's how you break
Then,
down the mind of the enemy team. That's the mind games that I need to see in my esport.
uh,
I'm better than you at everything I do.
uh, then Anna, he has a girlfriend, which honestly, massive flex for an Overwatch player.
No,
And
I definitely agree. That's definitely an achievement. However, I am afraid it will not have a big impact on this game particularly. But we're happy for anybody in a happy relationship. God bless, I guess. Um, Talking about God bless, God also blessed the Challenger division for Crowd Cup Esports. What a segue! I am so
nice
good at this.
segue, yeah, smooth.
So we're looking at the bracket right now. Obviously, YS Siege has already qualified for
Yeah, they've been waiting for about 3 weeks to play this final.
We'll deliver them their opponents very soon. I hope, surely.
Mhm. Yeah. I mean, we've still got Killswitch versus VA Callisto, and then that leads us into the grand final of Wire Siege versus whoever wins. Honestly, it could be anyone's game. Killswitch have come from the top division and so are more likely to win it, but it's still touch and go.
Yeah.
I mean,
And from what we've seen, both of these teams have been incredible so far. I am not surprised that either of those are right here.
yeah. Now, if you've missed any of this, God forbid, uh, so far, you can always find the VODs of the streams on the YouTube channel for Crown Cup. Just search up Crown Cup on YouTube, it should come up. There you can find all the VODs, all the history of this tournament so far. I believe it's been 2 or 3 months leading up
Yeah.
to these finals. So I'm excited for it. I think this is going to be big, and hopefully we go out with a bang.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming, and these teams have like prepared for this for so long, and like all the scrims, all the matches, all the coach work that has gone into this. I'm really excited to see the culmination of what these quote unquote rookies have to show for us today. Because to be fair, I don't think you can call yourself a rookie if you've made it to this grand finals.
No, I mean, I'm pretty sure all of these players are like Diamond Plus.
Yeah,
So,
I
you
wouldn't be
know,
surprised.
it only takes 200 hours at least to get there. Probably more, let's be real. Especially with how old Overwatch is. Ranking up can be a grind, but these players have put it in. They've put it in this tournament, and
Yeah, even if
they're going to
the
have something to show for it. They are
yeah,
not going to go out down without a fight, and they will fight hard for this.
as they should rise up. No, I agree, but also like we've seen so much competitive Overwatch in Crown Cup and in other tournaments that we know that the pure individual skill rank of the player really has nothing to say about how good these teams can be and how
No,
good their team play is.
absolutely. I mean, a team's only as good as its weakest link, and when your weakest link is communication, that's when everything falls apart because it's so difficult when you can't come. Hey, I need my tank to peel. Tank peels when you're not tracking ultimates properly and when you're not calling them out to each other or trying to pair them up. When you're just having 6 players versus trying to play into a 1v6, it doesn't work.
Yeah,
Also, I
no,
forgot Overwatch is 5v5 now. So that's fun. It's only been 3 years.
yeah, no, don't worry. We'll patch that out in the edited version of this. Don't worry.
It's touch and go anyway. By the time this comes out, it might be 6v6 again.
Oh, I hope this match isn't because I am not prepared for it. I've definitely missed a couple hundred patches until Overwatch is back to 6v6, unless we are on a very different rule set that I have not read so far. If so, production, please let me know. That'd be very helpful. We'll figure this out together, guys. Don't worry. I'm a professional.
Yeah. Now, I believe we should be getting into it in just a couple of minutes now. These teams have a tendency to ban dive more than anything, especially MC Solstice. They don't necessarily like playing into it, and I understand why. It can be really, really difficult to coordinate around and figure out how to play and protect from it. Um, Especially with Diva being a bit meta right now, and like Hazard's also been released in the past couple months and is really good. Uh, Hydro Man, that's not it. the
Aquaman.
the new character released just a couple weeks ago is not playable in this, and that does shape up the meta a lot because if he was, he would be able to run down teams so easily. He would push the dive meta even more or fast brawl because Ram is still pretty good right now. I think they patched out the armor bug, but he's still strong. and he did just get buffed as well. So there's a very real chance we see plenty of Ramatra today.
Yeah, it's almost like we've seen that character before, but I definitely agree. Ram is definitely better now than he has been
Ooh,
in the last patch, but I'm still not quite sure if the Ramatra is good enough to stand up to those elite tank picks right now. Also, though, the ball character very strong, wrecking ball just
yeah.
um, very impressive, super disruptive, and not a bad pick on Lijiang Tower as well, don't you think?
I mean, yeah, absolutely. It would be an interesting choice here because he got nerfed, he got slightly less ammo, and his mines last longer, last for less amount of time. Even though it's not that good a null anyway, I think it'll be really interesting to see if he is played here. He is good, and he's a very different tank to every other in the game, and I think that's good. I think that's healthy, and I think it's interesting, especially as a caster. But the first map choice has been Lijiang Tower here, one of my personal favorite maps. It's one we've seen, I believe, we've seen it plenty. Teams love Lijiang
It's a
Tower,
classic.
and I think players do too. It's really fun. It promotes Brawl so heavily, and people love Brawl, especially in like the Western scene of Overwatch. The Eastern scene's more into dive, but I think these teams specifically like that closer contact fight, those speed comps. That I find are really interesting and really fun.
Yeah, but at the same time, it also opens up for compositions, especially on night market based on Pharah. Right, we've seen a lot of Pharah and Pharah Mercy to break those brawl
Yeah,
compositions, just bunkering up on point. So I think it's very versatile. Or the comps that you can play are very different, and I think it just makes for a great map, and it's a mirrored map, so everything feels so much fairer. Uh, there's not like a weird high ground that one team has to pass through and the other doesn't. So yeah, there's a lot to like about Lijiang. But to be fair, the other maps in this map pool aren't too shabby either, and I hope we get to see lots of them.
no, I mean Control are some of the best designed maps in this game. They were a lot of the first, and they really understood what makes maps and compositions tick in this game when they were building them. They have a lot of angles, a lot of passageways, but unfortunately, Cassidy nor um, Zarya are going to be able to take those angles as they have both been banned. Finducks spamming Zarya and MC Solstice banning Cassidy. Zarya is an interesting choice here. She's not that hard meta. She is good with Reaper though, and that's kind of bringing her into it. Whereas Cassidy, even though he got a recent nerf, he is still solid and a very strong pick.
I can't lie. In my rank games, I do also tend to ban Zarya a lot. She's
Yeah,
just so good at so much that she does, because like it's so difficult to straight up counter Zarya, right? Like
yeah,
I don't know. It's just a weird, slippery character in that sense. She's just slow. That's the only thing that's like really all that bad about her. But if you can make up with it for it with like a Reaper or a Genji or something like that, it's still very useful. So no wonder that she's banned here. And well, since Finducks also want to roll out on the Orisa, it makes so much more sense because Orisa obviously struggles against Zarya.
yeah. And I believe we're going to see a near mirror here. Without a Zarya to counter an Orisa, there's no point not to play her. And we are seeing the Sim TP from both sides here coming out. Then presumably a swap, but Mimeru hasn't, Mirror hasn't seemed to swap off the Symmetra. Interesting choice here. I can't fault it necessarily. I think that there's a lot of potential
Wow.
she has here in a corridor map. I mean, already getting one kill and Orisa falling from Mickey. Second kill. This Sojourn is wild as Yoshi gets a kill onto Sun, and they're about to cap this point.
Cap the point they are. Lucia is still running around, but there's nothing stopping MC Solstice from capturing this point first. And Mickey has done incredible in this first fight. Probably gonna be building up to that overclock in like a fight and a half here.
Yeah, and the Octo swap to Venture. Interesting choice. Venture is very good, especially with her high CC in this meta. And already breaking out onto the objective, trying to find a flank in this backline. Will burrow under the ground and is going to try and get some damage off. Did already use the Dill Dash, so won't have it underground, but they're going to be able to isolate Kiriko. She TP's out there, and Octo dies to Orisa, but Yoshi gets a 2k on both strategies, both supports. Finducks are looking rough.
Yeah, this is very difficult. Even when they get the first pick, MC Solstice just tends to somehow win those fights. They just seem to be more clutch here. Where Mimi has a pulse bomb here available though, so this could be huge if they can get the Caesar or other ability out first.
Yeah. Ooh, they whiff the pulse bomb though. Now the Orisa coming out, trying to find a kill. Will not be able to, but will take some space with that Terror Surge, whilst the Kiriko does come out, and Tracer on 24 health with Sojourn overclocking, but not finding much as Yoshi rolls through them. These Orisas are really running the lobby here.
Yeah, as we talked about, like there's nothing to counter them, so they're just walking on each other's backline, and it's just a game of attrition. Which team has more people in the backline at any given time? But Mimi just cleans up.
Yeah, and I mean, Finducks clearly trying to find the answer of what if we just made the strategist or the supports also the backline. But MC Solstice have gone and mirrored it, and with Miramel getting a 2k like that, it is not safe for anyone out here in these streets.
Yeah, these streets are definitely dangerous, but Sun still has their Kiriko ultimate available, so I'm expecting a very fast push here because that's basically all that Finducks have to play this fight with.
Oh, and the beat does come out with the overclock and Kitsune rush from Finducks. Are they going to be able to find much any kills from it? No, they're just going to be forced to retreat into a corner with the Venture coming out here. Miramel is looking low, will not quite die, and Orisa does overcommit, forces Suzu and dies in the end to that Javelin Spear. Now trying to find an angle on this side, but the overclock coming out from MC Solstice will be able to get a kill onto Lucio, but Romy manages to get a back kill onto that Kiriko, and it's so much forward momentum. MC Solstice can't recover. 46 and 88% on the point of both teams.
Yeah, I'm really impressed by Finducks. Really good at punishing Yoshi's overextension there, because they really didn't have anything else in the tank there. They traded the Kiriko ult for the Lucio sound barrier, and that's basically it. They were basically bound to lose that fight, but Romy looking for the pulse bomb here.
Oh, the stick! Yeah, that was a good pulse bomb. You called that instantly. Oh my god, the Charizard getting a full K, and the counter surge is not going to be able to do anything when your team is entirely dead.
This is tragic for MC Solstice. I wonder if Yoshi is going to swap here. They only have the tectonic shock for the Venture here, and they're just going to be walking into Mermeli's overclock. But this is a very dicey situation.
Yeah, Finducks did go 3-0 in their previous encounter with MC Solstice. The start of this game though looked like it was going towards MC Solstice. They won the first 2 or 3 fights. They could win more in the future. They could really bring this back. They could pull it back, but the spear onto Miramel in that overclock isn't going to be able to find any kills with it, and Octo manages to get one themselves. Lucio versus Orisa. Who's going to win? The answer is both retreat, as this is a Lucio v Lucio off the objective, rotating onto the point, with MC Solstice claiming the point at 90%, and only Tracer can touch, potentially.
Well, maybe Lucio can touch as well. No, they can't! The Tracer makes it on.
Touch, forces out a recall. I'm not sure if anyone can even get to the point in time, except Tracer might be able to. Tracer does, and the swap to Bull is going to try and get onto the objective, trying to force them off with Orisa is not quite going to be able to. With the beat coming out here, you may as well use your ults. It's the final part of the match, and you're not going to be able to hold much longer.
Yeah, the Wrecking Ball is just a tragic last-ditch attempt, but it's just not going to be enough. Great retake from MC Solstice, and we go to 99% on the first round of our first map. This is bound to be a banger, I'm convinced.
Yeah, that was incredible, honestly. That was awesome, an awesome display from both teams there. And since their first engagement with Finducks, MC Solstice look to have figured them out, see what makes them tick, and see how to counter or play into them better, which is largely a mirror, but it's a mirror that's working. they really put up a strong fight here, and it was so touch and go between the two teams.
Yeah, Octa still sticking on the venture here. I know the pro player Maimone likes the venture on this point as well. It's gonna be interesting to see if they can make as much, if they can make the character work as much as the pros here. Very interesting pick. Mikey gets another kill.
Ooh, yeah. I mean, Tracer took a long flank there, but it didn't really pay off in the end. Because when your team's dead, all the attention's just going to be on you. And a Sojourn like Mickey with such precise aim is very, very difficult to kill.
Well, there's just nothing you can do as Tracer there. If Mikey just kills your backer instantly,
Scars.
just as Scars does as well. This is tragic for Finducks here. They might be losing the grip of the game here.
I mean, Octo in this 1v1 against Tracer is going to find the kill in the end. And I mean, Finducks are just having to have such a slow push here and make such little progress at any given time.
Yeah, Finducks are just getting staggered the entire time. There's
I mean,
already somebody dead, basically.
They know that going on a bridge against Lucio is really, really risky, especially with Lucio and an Orisa. But the swap to Anna's potentially quite interesting here. It does give them slightly more single target healing and potentially a counter to Kiriko. Because I know Suzu counters anti, but like they're the same cooldown, and it forces Kiriko to play completely differently because she has to wait for that cooldown to be used from Finducks. Now Finducks have retaken the point, and actually Solstice are going to be looking to reclaim it.
Yeah. Good thing picking up the Kiriko there, but MC Solstice are already coming back, and we used the Orisa cooldowns already for
the nano.
Finducks.
And the Terra Surge does come out. It cannot be Suzu'd, as that is a 2k from that Terra Surge. But they have taken it onto point, and 2 kills onto that backline. These teams are neck and neck, but with just a little bit more death on the side of Finducks, they're not going to be able to make much more progress, as it's probably a reset or a stagger here for these teams.
A stagger it is. What a great spear onto the Sojourn of the MC Solstice right there. That was brutal. That was personal. Yeah. In terms of ultimates, what's coming up here for MC Solstice, it's a lot. It's 4 or 5 ultimates. It's going to be very difficult to push into this with just the Kitsu and the overclock.
I mean, I almost want to see Orisa jump off the map and Terra Surge here, pulling them with her. But that's not going to happen as the beat does come out. Octo getting a 3k, but the boot back onto Orisa as well. That's a stronghold.
Yeah, that's 3 ultimates used, but yeah, it's difficult for Finducks to touch here. Yeah, like, Cagliari's swapping over.
And now they're forcing a rush fight out of their opponents. One that's probably not going to work. Bromy, I believe, touching that, but isn't going to find much more than that as
Mikey's dead.
Duty does die, but so does Orisa. Mickey popping it such a strong Sojourn ultimate there is not going to be able to find much more from it though. Lucio is low but will not quite die, but they managed to get Kiriko in the end. Octo getting a 2k though out of nowhere. Lucio doing a rollout onto the objective, not quite reaching the bridge on the other side, but they're not going to be able to do much more than that.
MC Solstice might just steal it away right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's over. Good body block.
They've done it. Well done.
Wow.
That was impressive. Already showing their improvement from last time they faced this team.
Yeah, it's a statement.
We're going to be moving on to Hybrid next. I'm excited. That was big for what this matchup could mean. I genuinely, I know I said it earlier, but I was a little bit skeptical of what fight MC Solstice was going to put up here. But with a performance like that, I'm worried if Finducks can't match it.
Okay, we're flip flopping a bit too much here, aren't we? No, I think Finducks put up an incredible fight, especially on the first part of that map. Second part wasn't quite as close, but still a lot of point flips here and there. Yeah. And they basically just lost to the ult economy. A couple of weird ultimate timings. Probably lost us as viewers and casters that third round of control, but that's fine. We have plenty more of what should come here.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I'm, I keep on saying it. I'm excited. It's an exciting thing. As No, I mean next map is hybrid. Hybrid maps are quite fun. Again, a staple of Overwatch. Where these teams love Brawl, and we've seen them play King's Row a reasonable amount. So I am excited to see if they fully commit to that. Because if they do, it's a good map. I really like it. It's my personal favorite, and there's so many interesting ways to play it, and it's been studied so much that teams know how to play every point of it, and they're still thinking of new ways to perform on it.
How else are you going to win games at this level? It's just
Yeah.
way too difficult to crack those tight choke points if you don't know what you're doing and the other team does, right? Like if they've done their homework, they know how to position and which fights to take, how much space to give, right?
Yeah.
But no, I am convinced that these teams have done their homework. But I
Mhm.
would not be upset if we saw a little bit of an honorable Rhine mirror on King's Row.
Yeah. And
Any Reinhardt? No, no.
I
Okay.
mean, fingers crossed, Reinhardt is very fun. Although he also isn't that good. So you can only ever play him in a mirror right now, unfortunately. Um, we are going to have we're the next match is going to be just a couple minutes away. We are having some slight technical issues on our side, but that's fine because we are going to ask the most important question, which is, what do you think Tracer's favorite flavor of ice cream is?
Oh wow, what a question! You can't just drop that on me and expect me to have an answer ready, like on the spot, right there. Oh my god, there is so much going through my mind. Um,
Don't worry,
um,
there's some nerd in chat being like, the canonical answer is
do,
raspberry
do,
ripple.
do you think there is a canonical answer? Do you know?
I mean, I don't know if there is, but like it's the type of thing that someone somewhere, if it exists, they will have figured it out. But honestly, I this is going to sound odd, but I would say rum and raisin. It's it's
Hmm.
not the choice you'll think of, but like a British pilot, what they're gonna drink, or
But
what ice cream they're gonna have. I think it's rum and raisin.
I don't know if Tracer is a big fan of rum. I don't know. Tracer doesn't strike me as a rum drinker. I think she might have a seltzer here and there, maybe a glass of wine if she's feeling cheeky. But I don't think rum and raisins is the pick here. But to be fair, I don't hate it either. It's just I've been thinking about a couple of things, but like obviously there's like the with Tracer being a gay icon, there's like the obvious answer of picking some fruity flavors, which would be kind of funny, but at the same time I don't know if that be like honest because I don't think those are necessarily Tracer's like favorite flavors. But I also don't think it'd be something like chocolate chip mint or something. I think there has to be something else. Maybe
I mean,
caramel?
caramel could work. Our producer did just post in the chat, just the gayest looking ice cream in existence. It's the only way I can describe it. It's like 8 different colors. All of them look like blue raspberry. It's actually called rainbow color ice cream.
It's
I
also
beg you say that
served
on stream right now.
it's also served in 3 cones at the same time. I think we're really doing too much here.
Okay. Real talk. What about pistachio?
Oh, pistachio is a good shout actually. Ah, Tracer has been around the world to know a good quality pistachio ice cream.
Sorry, I'm just
Uh,
trying to get my mic to refocus. Camera to refocus. I mean, yeah. Now, I'm gonna ask you what you think of the best character in Overwatch. Of course, Torbjorn.
yeah,
What would
yeah.
he have as a cheeky little treat?
Oh boy. Oh boy.
You know, he's
I
had a long day working on his pet turret in the factory. Then he comes home. What does he want to eat?
I mean, there's the there's the ice cream cone. There's the ice cream cone on my screen. How am I supposed to work under these conditions?
It's so tempting.
I don't think that would be Torbjorn's first choice. I don't know. Is there like a motor oil kind of flavor?
Motor oil flavor. I mean,
No.
I was personally thinking he'll probably have a pie, right? Or like a crumble of some kind. Like both
Yeah.
for his main and dessert. He'll have like a steak and ham pie and then a dessert. Or and then like a berry pie for dessert. Because you know, you can never have too much pie.
I bet there is so much content in the comics about like the stuff at the Lindholm's home. I think
Yeah.
that you could go into some deep dive analysis there, but I don't think we have time for that right now.
No, no. We are going to go on a short 5 minute break, but be sure to stay tuned because we have at most 6 more matches, at least 3 more matches coming up, coming up for you today in this brilliant final. Hello, hello, and welcome back after one game to the Crown Cup rookie division finals here between Finducks and MC Solstice. Just a little bit of a recap: MC Solstice have so far won one map, and it is 1-0. This is a best of seven. We are going on to hybrid next.
Yeah, hybrid is as we were talking about earlier, always a very interesting map type. Just because you like as the name implies, it's a hybrid of like capture and push the
Mm-hmm.
payload, right? But like to
Yeah,
get to pushing the payload and actually secure a substantial point advantage or meter advantage, you first have to attack those very difficult to attack points a lot of the time. Like Numbani is not super easy. It's not very attacker friendly. And I'd say even King's Row can be very tough to crack a lot of the time. So even just getting into that map and like seeing most of it is very difficult. So I expect our teams to be very invested in trying their best to keep playing on this first point for as long as possible, even though I love the rest of the map and the way it develops the further the payload pushes. So and it gives me a more entertaining series to watch. So
yeah.
I'm all for it.
Yeah, it definitely feels like how you do a back and forth mode properly, because you have some progress and then you don't have much, and then you have some progress, but the attacking team never loses that much distance. Like they will lose some, but it's far easier for them to make it than it is for them to lose it. So
Yeah.
it works to make the system where it's genuinely interesting to watch attacking teams fight and over again what should be a losing battle. But if they win 50% of their fights, they'll probably get all the way to the end.
Yeah.
Whereas in something like Push, if you're winning 50% of your maps, it's just going to keep going back and forth and be so touch and go. How well the teams are really doing, and it's so difficult to read and see.
Yeah. Absolutely, definitely. Like there's like the only thing that's super fun in push is if you've had a game that's been tooth and nail, so every team has like 50% win rate. And then in the last like minute or so, one team just starts to win fight after fight after fight, especially if they were down earlier, and just make the comeback. I think it's just so satisfying to see the bot move on the top of your screen from one side of the spectrum. I was spectrum is kind of weird word there, but like from one side of the monitor to the other, and just cap that final barrier and get that progress. So I think we'll see plenty of that as well still, but hopefully not on Kings Row or Numbani or any of these other maps, because then something went very wrong with the code.
Now, I personally would love to see some of the stats coming out from this. So I know we had an Orisa mirror and a Sojourn mirror there, and in my opinion, the Orisas and the Sojourns were really the ones defining that match so far. Um, they really worked to build space for their team and capitalize on it. Because in a game where Zarya is banned, in this meta, you can probably get away with running Orisa. And like, there's Ramatra, sure, but Ramatra's at 50-50 into Orisa. And when both teams have her, they can just push through and do as well as they can.
Wow, what a brutal stat line.
Mhm.
MC Solstice have so many more average eliminations. Obviously, they ended up winning the map, but I didn't think it'd be almost twice as much.
I mean, shockingly, the healing's almost the exact same, just 80 healing difference between the two teams. And it really reaffirms what makes a good strategist. It's not how much healing they do, it's how much damage they do whilst healing. And it's so difficult to juggle and so difficult to manage. But it's potentially the reason that Solstice are doing so well here, or have done so well in that last game. It was still very close between the two teams, as they're both formidable opponents, and they will mess you up in your ranked games.
Yeah, like also looking at those damage numbers, as you said, that's a decent amount of damage, but like it's not outstanding in that sense. Like it's not an incredible amount of damage, so it just shows you that there wasn't one team just dogging on the other team and just free shooting the entire time. But no, these teams were actually very closely matched, and that's why we had the 99 on the first round, and the I don't know how much percentage
It
Finducks
was,
got.
I think it was about 45, maybe
Yeah,
80.
it was like, yeah, 45, almost 50%, which is still not bad, especially
Yeah,
considering that there were so many flips of the point, right?
yeah, yeah. It just kept flip flopping like a sandal. Uh, that was a bad analogy.
No,
Uh,
I love that. I love that. That's great.
but now I'm sure you've all been wondering since just before we went on break, what would Torbjorn eat for lunch? And don't worry, we've been working very hard behind the scenes to figure this out, and I believe Maxu has the answer.
Well, I did a first search, and it, well, maybe my input into my search engine of choice was not quite what I meant, because it gave me the path to becoming a Swedish nutrition engineer, uh, which is, well, somewhat related, but I was more so thinking about what Torbjorn, a Swedish engineer, would eat for lunch.
I
But
mean,
it
I
turns
love
out,
that because it suggests there's a depiction between a normal nutrition engineer and a Swedish one,
no,
aside from just being Swedish.
no, that's not what I meant. I meant like a
I know,
traditional
I know.
mechanical engineer and a nutritional engineer. But
Yeah,
it
I
turns out
understand.
a lot of the, like, it's not very mind blowing. A lot of the Swedish engineers have either just some food from the restaurant or the cafeteria, or they have leftovers from home. Wow, would you look at that? That's
Kings
impressive,
are.
isn't it?
I mean, I don't think Sweden have kings, unfortunately, but the British certainly do, and that's where they are playing now. We've talked about this plenty. It is a solid map. Teams have almost got it solved. I expect we will see some Widow at the start of this first point. I believe one of the players does actually play a reasonable amount of Widow as well. So I'm excited to see if they can pull that out here and if they can get some kills with her.
Well, maybe we can see the who was it sure for pulling out the Widowmaker on first point after swapping off of the Brigitte, but obviously that's not possible anymore because you can't really pick Brigitte and then like swap over to the DPS role.
Yeah,
Good old
what happened
Overwatch.
to Goats?
Okay. Zeus is just stuck in a very different time zone. Like we've made so many circles around the sun, and Zeus is still back there. We're still in 6v6, and we still have goats in Zeus's head. I appreciate it, but I don't think it's what's gonna
Hey,
happen
hey,
this
hey,
match.
hey! It's Christmas somewhere.
What? It's just not. That's just, we're just lying on broadcast now.
No, no. What else can we lie about? What else can we lie about? Did you know Tracer can teleport?
um well, she didn't always she wasn't always able to do that. I think she kind of got lost in time, and then a gorilla engineer helped her to come back and like control where she's going. Also, there's a very fun interaction between Tracer and Venture, where Venture asks Tracer if Tracer could go all the way back in time to do some archaeology, and Tracer's like, no, I've never tried that before,
Okay,
but maybe I could.
I mean, I've never really thought about just how weird the Overwatch lore is until you mentioned that. And now I'm thinking, whatever Jeff Kaplan was smoking when he wrote that, I want some. It seems great.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, no, I was not gonna say it. I almost said working at Blizzard was probably a very chill time, but we all know there were some issues there as well. Anyways, coming back to the game at hand, we have the hero bands up on the screen now. First
Yeah.
ban was obviously Finducks with Sojourn being banned out, and MC Solstice, sick of the Orisa Mira, just banning it outright.
I mean, those were the highest performing characters for both teams last game, I believe. And so it's really, really interesting to see that. I think this does leave room for a venture, though, which I believe Finducks were running, and they were pretty good at it. It might have been MC Solstice, though. And I'm excited to see if that works. I'm excited to see if we see a Reaper here, because if we're looking at tanks like Ramatra potentially, Reaper's really, really good. We've seen how strong he can be on this map where there's so many close encounters and so many chokeholds. Just the ability to stall is so strong. We saw it the other day in this tournament. You can find that VOD on the YouTube channel if you want. Just search up Crown Cup on YouTube.
Yeah, I agree. The Reaper can be very strong here, and especially because the fast TP, uh, obviously you give up some range for it, but a lot of the areas that you actually fight in on King's Row that's like useful to for Reaper to be in, it's not that far, but it's so useful to just jump around everywhere and just appear somewhere, get bubbled. Obviously, is back in the mix for this map. Very interesting. Not a
Yeah.
bad character for this map either.
No.
Uh,
Or for Reaper.
yeah. So very excited to see that, but I'm still hoping for that Reinhardt.
Yeah. I mean, I hope Roadheart's in this. Roadheart's a fun character. But
I just love a big shatter.
Zarya, Zarya,
Can't a man enjoy his big shatter anymore? It's 2025, no?
I mean, Zarya is really good right now. She's kind of meta with a Reaper because
Yeah.
she doesn't block that much damage herself, but Reaper's 300 HP. He's able to tank some of it, and he's got his Shadow Step. He can always escape. He's a good character for helping take some of the pressure off that tank, and really, really good at also damaging and bullying the enemy. So if we don't see a Zarya mirror, it might be a struggle for the team that doesn't play her.
Yeah, and talking about damage, high charge Zarya is disgusting. I've had her in my ranked games. I know it was last patch, but it didn't really change much about her damage. It's insane. You just get lasered down, and there's like barely anything you can do. So if your Zarya player just got the better aim, you might just be winning that fight
And
per se.
yeah, and I mean that effect is amplified with her new perk, which allows her to gain energy from her secondary fire, so she can sustain it even longer without her bubbles.
Yeah, very much so. It's definitely an interesting choice to pick that perk, uh, because obviously you can like stall out your charge, um, but it's like not a lot of charge, right? Like it's not like you would go for it in the middle of a fight. But it's interesting to think about how much charge you can retain. It's also interesting to think about what Finducks are playing as for their tank option right now.
Now we are going in. I hear some sounds of Lucius, and they're having to go into ban Wu Yang. That is quite funny, I'll be honest. Wu Yang not being playable in this tournament is. Oh, we're restarting the match. We are going to be headed in just now for the second time.
There we go. This is what we came for. I hope that Finducks are still gonna rock out on the Reinhardt here. They were showing it in the spawn earlier. They better not bait me here.
Now, I'm excited to see where these teams hold. We're potentially going to see a hold on this high ground. I've seen entire teams hold on this high ground for at least the first little bit of the match. Now, the Reaper and the sorry, I just heard a fire alarm a couple blocks over, and I got really panicked. We are going to see a Reaper and a Venture here from MC Solstice. Venture Octo is a really good Venture, and both those characters work really well with a Zarya. Finducks choosing to go a slower comp, potentially a Reinhardt, potentially a Diva.
Yeah. I think the Reinhardt out of Space Cat is very impressive here. But it's obviously a very difficult matchup into the Zarya for MC
Are they
Solstice.
are they going Reinhardt to shield the Widowmaker at the start of the
I
match?
dig
That is
it.
an interesting choice. Now the Sim TP onto the backline. That's potentially good if they can capitalize off of this rotate well. They are probably going to need to find a kill from it. And you do kind of have to go Sim in a situation where she's not necessarily ideal. It does make her difficult to follow through this corridor if she's setting up her TPs or her mines. What are they doing?
I was talking about Surfer earlier. This looks a lot like that.
They, I've never seen this before. I thought this was
They're
a
just flipping
sold
them up.
map.
Nope, they're flipping the map right here. Very interesting approach for this team here. But yeah, the map is
Risky
completely
play, but
flipped.
if it works, it works. I mean, Venture getting low on health already, having to be bold, and is not looking good from it. But ooh, it's a trade for trade between both of these teams, with the Reinhardt managing to get a kill towards the tailgate of that fight. But we're probably going to see a touch from Reaper here, and the Sim TP back onto point. I think it's worked. I think they're going to cap at 230.
Yeah, I think so as well. Unless they can retouch with the Reinhardt here, because they have now mirrored that character. They don't want to retouch with the zero charge Zarya.
Holding the Reinhardt off the point with the mirror charge. Now the Reinhardt mirror is really interesting. I do respect it a lot. Reinhardt is such a fun character. Now Octo getting chased down, trying to find a kill on him, will just miss, but they finally get him as the payload is pushed. 4:40 on the clock. That is really, really good time.
Definitely so. I also think it's interesting how they're playing the Kiriko with the Reinhardt.
Yeah.
But I agree that it's like it's kind of difficult to play the Baptiste here in this current meta. But yeah, I don't think Reinhardt is super easy to play with the Kiriko either. However, we have a big shatter advantage obviously for the side of Finducks here. With the Reinhardt just TPing on point on top and being a menace.
Yeah, and the swap from Finduck putting them a little bit on the back end here. Freeze does come out, but they Suzu it and blocking with the shield. Now the Venture does come out, getting 2 kills from it. Blue team are going to make progress, are going to push their opponents all the way back, and Mate is just going to get staggered.
That is tragic for Finducks. Using both your like 2 of your very important offensive ultimates in the Shatter and the Blizzard, and just straight up losing the fight. That's tragic. Very well played though by MC Solstice, especially Wisp.
I mean, they could afford to put Simmons earlier there. They had the overcoming advantage. They just did it too soon. That their opponents had all their resources, they had their cooldowns, and they had opportunity to react properly. Now Blade potentially looking for a Death Blossom here, being forced to retreat though. And in the backline here, now Symmetra is dropping her.
Oh, I think they know. Yeah, they do. Okay, okay.
They know. Now Cassidy is being played here. That was an interesting swap. It is working against the Venture though. Cassidy's flashbang is very strong. The die coming out, but no. Oh, one person is going to die. Not quite the value they were hopefully looking for, but it is going to be some as the Sim does fall. Interesting. I don't think that was necessary as the Shatter does come out, and oh my god, Cass doesn't die. His health was like 20.
Yeah. Very aggressive play from the Cassidy there, but I think it pays off very nicely, and I think it's also how you have to play the Cassidy in this comp. You can't be playing scared into the Venture. Scars is going to be scarred from this Reinhardt 101, so they will be swapping over to the Hazard here, just to be able to have some more high ground contestability and help their Venture out more.
Yeah, I mean, Hazard, the MC Soldier swapping to Hazard here. Really interesting choice. We've seen a lot of swaps from this team. The solo Shatter is rough as the Casino does come out, but that feat is going to hold any progress they can make with the Deadeye coming out, able to get a kill. Muriel able to follow it up, and the death of Wisp is going to be the nail in the coffin that Finducks needed to push up.
The Space Cat made sure their next Shatter was not going to get evaded, and it worked out beautifully. So we're rolling into the last stretch of the third point here with just about no ultimates online. Only Octo and Wisp that are close to their ultimates right now. So it should be MC Solstice being able to at least put up a fight here on third point.
Yeah, absolutely. Everyone was kind of banking on that being the last fight, and it just quite wasn't. There is the hold here at the very end. It does force them to rush as we see the push up from here. The retake of the objective from MC Solstice, but it is not going down without a fight just yet, as Hazard is just melted with the Panda Hammer. Is not quite going to be enough. Bellini able to get a kill, and that is going to be a retake for MC Solstice.
Yeah, and they do end up like holding this with 3 ults in the bank. And now Finducks, well, they do also have ultimates coming up, but it's just so demoralizing if you lose a fight and you don't even get all the or get any of the ultimates out there. So now MC Solstice is just working on their next ultimates, and that's the dragon coming out, and I believe it's already dead.
Yeah. Now the Hazard does potentially have an ult here, and able to get a nasty kill. Is going to be using it through the wall. Able to, allows Octo to get a kill, and they're going to push up. Sim is at tier 3 on her beam, but the extra vision initiation potentially going under the payload. Is going to be able to get a kill. Is going to enable it a second, and Licio is only the only one touching here on the objective, but no longer. Finducks have not pushed it all the way yet.
Yeah, Roram is swapping over to the Genji here. Reinhardt Genji, not something we see every day. But well, I'm always happy to be proven wrong in those kind of situations. I will can play very aggressively with Beat here, and I think it just wins them the map if they're fast enough.
And speaking of the demo, they just beat it, popping the Deadeye as well. That is rough. You cannot kill through that. You just have to break LOS. And the Ajax! Oh no, that is not going to be good for MC Solstice.
Oh well, let's just move on. Let's just move on, Homo Flexible. That's what happens to the best of us, you know?
Yeah, it certainly does. And it
yeah, they're moving to the back.
They just got a little bit unlucky. But I mean, working down from 5 minutes to 52 seconds is impressive, especially with such a good push onto the first point. I think that's the best I've ever seen that played, and it was truly awe-inspiring. They went all the way around just to get the perfect angle.
Yeah, and getting all of those cooldowns out, like with the Reaper TPing onto the high ground, but just not having the speed, not having the range. The Venture and the Reaper just stacking on the same angle where they both were just not able to do anything. Beautiful portal there that I definitely knew existed. Yeah, but that threw me off completely.
Guys, what
Who
even
put
is
that
a
there?
persona? What even is a persona, guys?
Oh wow.
That is, of course, part of the new Persona collab. That just
Yeah,
a
it
couple of spaces
took me a
around.
second though.
Okay.
I was for a second I thought it was like an unused asset that like bugged in there or something, but no. Yeah, check out the collab.
I mean, they're just sitting. They're chilling. They know they've got this in the bag. They're confident. And honestly, who can blame them? Pretty cool spot in the map as well, I'll be honest. Now, Hazard into Mauga. Oh my gosh, Mauga on defense. That's so annoying to fight into.
I wonder how well they will do with their overrun management. Because if you just end up in their backline and don't have anything, it can be super deadly for the Mauga.
And I mean, Mauga's decent in Hazard, but he's not the best. Hazard's got a lot of armor and damage reduction, so he doesn't quite get the lifesteal he needs from it, but it can still work quite well. Now, Cass trying to find a kill here. Ooh, and the Mauga is in that backline, but the Susan comes in clutch as he gets 2 overrun kills and does fall himself with a third. But it's a 5v2 right now, or 4v2 right now, and that's almost impossible to recover from.
Yeah, basically nothing you can do there but reset. However, they did end up building a lot of the ult charge for the Hazard ult here, right? 78% and just respawning. That could be almost the first ult on the board here, unless Marimelli gets a blizzard first. but I think it's easier to engage with the hazard ult than with the blizzard, right? So they're gonna just take up the TP here, clear out the high ground, and then probably look for the hazard ult.
Now, here we see why Sim can struggle so much if she doesn't have the time to properly set up. But the city not quite connecting to counter that hazard is going to enable one kill for Genji now here on the side of Finducks, as the blizzard does come out and Hazard doesn't quite get frozen, though he is going to be walled off, and May able to get several kills. Finducks really showing unique comps here so far this game.
Oh, what a headshot. But Flex picked up 2 kills that game, including the kill into iBlue. Just asserting the Lucio dominance right there. Very impressive. Good stuff. Good to see. However, this is now getting much more interesting in terms of ultimates. Obviously, we have the Blade coming up for Remy, but not for Octo. But we have so much support with the South area and the Kitsune almost online for Finducks.
Ooh, a nice kill for Remy, really showing what they can do in a Genji 1v1. But on 37 health, that was a questionable. Oh, they are able to kill Genji, Lucio with it though, but they do fool themselves. Now, returning back to the point is Cassidy, as the objective doesn't seem to be contested, and Finducks have been able to push their opponents back.
Yeah, you kind
The death from burning.
Yeah, that's tragic. You have to start to wonder if Finducks are just gonna full hold here, but maybe not. Blamey has something to say about that.
I mean, with a minute left on the clock, even if they push through this objective now, they'll still probably not have as much time as their opponents did at the very end. The Malgarov does come out here and walls off Hazard, but Cassidy coming out to counter isn't quite going to be able to find a kill, as Homer Flexible does manage to kill Malga, and now we're looking at potentially an MC Solstice retake. May is going to still does have her ult, isn't quite going to be able to even use it coming out of the ice block.
Yeah, MC Solstice do drag it over the line in the end, but they only have 30 seconds remaining for this attack. Obviously they're gonna get more time here, but it's just, you just love to have more time than 3 minutes for the second phase, especially if you're struggling with the attack. And they also still have the Blizzard, which is great for these close quarters on the support.
Ooh, Hazard coming out really early here is not going to be able to find a kill. It's just going to stall. That is a very common mistake teams make on attack here, but they did manage to kill Malga. He overcommitted so much. He could have just waited and let them waste that ult, but he got greedy. He tried to find some value. Now Cassidy, Blamey trying to get a kill, is just going to fall to Raw Mimi.
Yeah. Well, Marimel is still holding on to that Blizzard, which is very useful, great tool as I said earlier. But they do still have to back because they don't really have a Malga to play with right now. So Malga coming back very soon, but they're giving up so much spaces, which is so difficult to retake against the combo of MC Solstice, which is just very good at keeping those high grounds under control. And I expect MC Solstice to just play for some cooldowns here and play them very quickly.
Now, Octo does have ult coming out here. Potentially going to look to use it this fight, Lemmy also having it. Whereas the only ult from the side of Finducks is that May ult does come out alongside that Blade. Blade v Genji. Genji loses, of course. Lemmy is able to find a kill, and the Blizzard isn't going to find much, as Kiriko is staggered away from the rest of her team, does fall in the end. And a retake from from Finducks here, I believe.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, no.
Just a tragic Blizzard there, and Miramelli knows it as well. It swaps over, mirrors the Cassidy here, which I think is a sensible idea, especially against the Hazard instead of the Rhine. Just not as powerful there. Obviously, with the new bleeding perk for the Cassidy here, Flame has an advantage in the neutral, but I wonder how much that's gonna matter if he's just gonna die to the Morga.
Yeah, and it does remove his ability to use, sorry. Wow, that, everything happened there. I think 3 ults were popped total from both teams, but out of the chaos, Finducks have managed to find peace and have managed to find a method to the madness as they cap the point. Now, circling back to your point earlier, the perk choice of the punishing shot where you get that bleed is really interesting into a Mauga, where finding the hammer can be really, really strong.
Yeah, I agree. But however, we are seeing the Malga mirror here. From the Rhyme mirror to the Malga mirror. What a development of this series. Very interesting. I don't know how I feel about it just yet, but MC Sources have a good ultimate advantage here. They might be able to just turn it.
Ooh, Heinen does come out. Is not going to be able to find a kill though. And Finducks are able to get 2 early kills in this fight. Octone falling as well. Malga is able to get a kill onto Melly, but isn't going to find much more than that, as Finducks have retake the point, have held the point here and won the second game. It is 1-for-1 so far in this best of 7.
Wow, looks like it'll be a long night here on Crown Cup Season 3. But that's what we're here for. Octo obviously getting the play of the game on the Venture character. Who is surprised? Not me.
Honestly, deserved in my opinion. Wow, that is a truly an insane play. I believe they got 4 or 5 kills there, all of them better than the last.
Yeah, the Venture is just so difficult to control a lot of the time. So that's why we saw the Cassidy pick in the first place. And yeah, as we talked about earlier as well, I think the Cassidy perk choice is one that is actually very dependent on what composition, what tank you're playing into. And yeah, well, we saw Scars match the same tank as Finducks in the end there, but the Mauga just without any of the perks and like with pushing into the sound barrier, it's just such a difficult fight to win.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It is rough against such a welcome on a team. I truly have never seen a team go all the way around the first point on King's Row, and the fact that they were able to do it is kind of a power play. It was impressive. And
Definitely so.
I mean, arguably even more impressive that it worked. Because as soon as you see a team do that, they have so many options. Because when they jump down, they could go for the archway at the back of point. They could go straight onto point. They could go for hotel. It's so unpredictable. And trying to rotate your entire composition into a good position to counter it is so difficult, especially when they have another sim TP in just a couple of seconds that they can use to get even further round to the back of your backline if they wanted to, and enables a split push.
Definitely so. Split pushes are just in general so difficult to like deal with on the other side of the team, right? Or for the other team, like having to respond to those different angles, especially on a map that, as we talked about before, seems to be so figured out as King's Row. Well, maybe it isn't as figured out. Maybe there's still a lot of stuff, a lot of ideas left to discover, especially obviously with this Metro being able to just reposition their entire team in the moment, in the matter of seconds,
Yeah,
and just changing the entire battlefield instantly.
absolutely. Honestly, truly the case. Now, the next map is, I believe, going to be an escort map. Escort map's quite interesting. I think that it has even more back and forth than hybrid does, which we saw a lot of that game. And at some points, it looked like MC Solstice had it, and then they started losing it. They started slipping, um, and Finducks overall did come out on top. Now, I'm curious to see what these teams play here. I think they're going to commit even more into brawl comps, but they might switch up. They might go for something like Circuit Royale, something where they get to poke.
It's also going to be interesting to see if MC Solstice decide to attack first here, because obviously it was so difficult for them to actually push through second point. So their first point of the payload part of Kings Row, it was so difficult for them to even push through that. So I think it might be a smart move to just attack first, get that out of the way before they give Finducks any chance at developing a strategy for their defense. But they probably already have that. To be fair, coming into this tournament, they're probably very well coached and not scared to go up second on the attack. but I still think it might make sense for the side of MC Solstice to attack first here.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, MC Sources do have the choice of what map they play, so it's really going to signal what type of composition they want to run and where they think they can win against this team here. They did already lose going 0-3 against Finducks, but coming back into this final, so far it's 1-1. They've improved, they've done better than they did before. So they've got to, at the very least, be happy about that. And it means they know they can do it. They know they can push through, and they know they can make it work.
Yeah, we're still at a very early part of this series, right?
Yeah,
There's still
yeah.
so much that can come of the series. So I think if I was MC Solstice, I would not be scared at all. I think we just have to. They just have to think back at what happened on second point of Kings Row, especially on their attack, that made it so difficult for them to push through. And you called it perfectly. They go to Circuit Royale, which again I think is very smart of them, uh,
Mm-hmm.
as it's just such a different map in comparison to the payload part of Kings Row.
Yeah. I mean, I like to think of Circuit Royale as the maths of Overwatch, where it's no one's favorite. No one really likes it, but it's
Okay.
interesting, right? Like, it's not. You look at maths and you think that sounds boring. Then you start doing it, and it's potentially interesting. Circuit Royale's like that. You play it, it sucks, but to watch it as an esport, it's fun because teams do stuff they've never ever done before on this map because it's so extreme. It's so. This map is a poke map. You have to play it as a poke map. You have to play it with those long sight lines, those long ranges, and stalling out on defense. We see a lot of Hanzo on here. We're potentially going to see some brawl tanks that have longer range options, so like Ram, but also Orissa's really, really good. And Sigma used to be quite hard meta on here, but as he's fallen off, it's less and less, and it's made the map even more interesting, in my opinion.
Yeah, and we've already seen that we're not scared to play Symmetra in this tournament, right? So this obviously opens up even those long range maps for some other types of compositions. And I've even seen dive played on this map in pro play. So if you know what you're doing and you know how to deal with those long sidelines, I think it's still very open to a lot of different compositions. It's just it can just be so frustrating, so punishing to play against those very like long range characters like the Hansa, the Widow, the Ash, the Soldier, and stuff like that, where you're just getting one or two tapped before you can even properly set up, which a lot of those dive compositions are obviously designed for. Speaking of people who can one shot you, Hansa is banned right out, and Sigma is not going to be played on this map either. So yeah, we'll probably see something that is not the traditional poke.
I mean, Hanzo makes sense to me. Sigma here is genuinely quite surprising. Sigma's not really been meta this patch or the last patch. He's good on this map, but even then, it's not really worth playing. And so I'm interested to see what MC Solstice is thinking here. If they have some kind of deeper plan where they're going to run a character that can only be countered by Sigma or something, or perhaps they just don't like playing into him on this map because he is annoying.
I think we might be also just overthinking it here. They might have also just decided we don't want to play Sigma, but we got
Yeah.
first ban and we don't want them to ban out any of our tanks. So just throw out a protect ban here that makes sense for other teams to play like the Sigma on Circuit Royale. So it might also just be a protect ban. But yeah, we'll definitely have to see what what they've cooked up for us on this map, because it might reveal so much more about their intentions for the Sigma ban.
Yeah. Now, Hanzo also makes a lot of sense here. He did get nerfed slightly with his storm arrow size last patch, but the patch before, they'd changed his arrows from being buses to being the size of fighter jets. So it's really, really threatening and really, really difficult to deal with
Yeah,
because he can so easily just hit a headshot onto a squishy opponent and they're gone. it's really, really annoying, and he's really, really strong on this map. But with him banned, we're potentially going to see Soldier, and potentially going to see Cassidy, but with his damage fall off, I think it's more likely that we're instead going to see someone like a Widowmaker and Ash, who are both quite exciting, although quite unique in that you don't really see them in other maps in this game.
Yeah, I think we also have to think about the possibility of a Freya being played on this map. Uh, but yeah, I just feel like with the Hansa out, we obviously don't have the possibility of either team playing uh for having infosite like throughout the entire game, right? Because
Yeah,
a lot of the time you'll play the Hansa to Sonic era the most important areas of the map. So your Widow has perma infosite basically
yeah,
on the supports or whatever. But obviously those kind of strategies are not going to be available to these teams here. And without like the mobile Sigma shield, it's also going to be a little more difficult for Widowmaker to like quickly reposition and play here. So I
hmm
think there's a very good chance of actually seeing a kind of divey composition here
yeah,
where we have like a
yeah,
Sojourn or a Freya as our quote unquote main DPS, and maybe we even see Sojourn and Freya at the same time. I think it could work on a
yeah.
defense.
It could.
Uh, Very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, Freya, great point there. Because if you go for a speed comp with like a Ramatra or an Orisa, and then have like a Lucio or a Juno.
Juno?
Lucio is
Yeah.
slightly more meta right now. And then that Freya, you can do stuff. You can actually engage and push your opponents back a lot and make them play weirdly on this map because you have ranged pressure. You have a shot which is time based to detonate. So you can kind of pressure off areas for prolonged periods of time. It does reveal your location to them, but it could be worth it, especially at like end of first point, start of second.
Yeah, I agree. Also, the Freya is just kind of like by playing Freya, you kind of just basically ban Ana out of the video game because
Yeah,
playing Ana into a Freya is just you're just bound to get double
yeah,
double bolted. It's just there are so many scenarios where it just happens that the Freya sees you when you're scoped, and then it's just so easy to hit that double bolt,
it
and you're
is.
basically playing down your flex support the entire game. So I think if we see a Freya here, I don't think there's gonna be a lot of Ana playtime, and if there is, it's probably on the team that has the Freya.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I believe there might have been a roster change here for this map. We will confirm in just a couple seconds, but we are headed straight into it right now for this third game in this best of seven. 1-1 so far. It is truly anyone's game to play in.
Yeah, definitely so. Let's just have a quick look at the rosters,
Um,
but I'm not quite sure if. Oh, Yoshi is on tank, right?
uh, yeah, I believe Yoshi was on tank before. Let me double check. No, Yoshi. Oh yeah, Yoshi was on tank before. Um, is Panic new?
I think so,
No,
right?
I think we're just wrong. I believe they've ended up. There's no Octo.
There
Octo was
is
in
no
before.
Octo. You're right. You are right.
Um, Octo was in before. Honestly, a really good Venture, but Venture is not so hot on this map, especially with such long sight lines and so much distance to close. We are going to see a Sojourn and Ash into a Widowmaker and Genji here. That's an interesting pair, an interesting combo. Genji does fall in the end. Sojourn really using that machine gun to just burst her down. Now, trying to use this orb to block off a peek from um, Widowmaker here.
Yeah, the Widowmaker on the attack is obviously forcing so much positioning out of the side of Finducks, But Rorami just went a bit too early on the Genji there, and they're dead again. 0 and 2, I believe, for the Genji right now. Just a rough start, but I think the idea is not bad. Forcing them into smaller corridors and quote-unquote wrong positions that can be exploited by the Genji easily.
Yeah, now, MC Solstice haven't dropped off the high ground here. That was a nasty shot from Myra Melly, but almost a mirror, almost a match onto that high ground. Now, the Ramatra is going to try and punch through the Orisa shield, and he gets booped back, missing the overcharge from the Sojourn. Now, Terra Surge on the objective, without much to back it up, is only going to find one kill, but Scar's able to get one onto my Melly as well, and Solstice have held it. Solstice have pushed back, mainly fighting on the high ground.
Yeah, that was very impressive how they really turned that fight around, because it looked very dire. But I think Yoshi just staying alive with the Terra Surge there is a big part of how they ended up winning that fight. And Blame just swapped over to match the Widowmaker here, so that's going to be very interesting. But it puts so much pressure on both of the Hitscan players.
Yeah, and the Iari does come out very, very early on. Is not going to be able to find a kill. Does get one Sunstrike, but oh no, the map doesn't heal them back. Oh, that is rough, as Blamey is just going to retreat, and MC Solstice have lost the point here. I think they got one more fight before it comes to the end of first objective, though.
Yeah, but the Alari is just so valuable here. But Blame gets one kill, but gets traded out instantly. I don't know if it's enough for Finducks to recontest here. They might go with the trans, they do.
Ooh, the Transcendence onto the objective here. Now forcing out that Immortality field from Baptiste and putting Genji, not Genji, Zenyatta in a very risky spot here, as they don't quite hold. They just keep sustaining on the objective here, and coming right back from spawn, instantly dying. Is going to be rough for a soldier there.
Myra Melly just does so much on the Widowmaker here. That's so dangerous for MC Solstice to peek anything. But I think the Widowmaker, they have to die against Orisa here, no? No, yeah, they live.
Hopefully they do. This bath is aggressive. They're just finding damage and finding opportunities. They don't have you in their sights anymore. That is... I mean, this soldier is not having a fun time. He just keeps getting killed as soon as he wants back from spawn. I do think Soldier is an interesting choice of character here. He's not bad, but he's not meta like other Hitscan DPS are. And with 10 seconds on the clock, the Sunstrike on Orisa, and the Infrasight from the Widowmaker here. Terra Surge on the objective now, trying to find damage. Will be able to find one kill and a follow-up onto a second. Now the overclock killing Bull. I don't think they can even touch it. MC Solstice have held.
There is nobody there to touch.
But only just.
There is nobody there to touch. Roremi just having a tough game here on Circuit Royale. No matter if they're playing the Genji or the Soldier, they just end up getting caught out so early. But it's like, it's these kind of things that you have to overcome if you want to be crowned the Crown Cup champion, right? These are the kind of hurdles that have to be taken. And yeah, I wonder how Roremi can bounce back. And to be fair, how the entirety of Finducks can bounce back from this, because obviously they haven't even gotten the first checkpoint here.
Now, I'm excited to see what Finducks can do here, how they can hold, and how they can... Oh my god. Are we going to see Torbjorn? Are we going to see Torbjorn?
Chat, do you remember what he's going to have for lunch here? Right in the chat right now. we're turning Crown Cup into a listening comprehension. So...
I mean, the real question is, do we remember?
I mean, I said it, so I'd hope I do, but that's not the main point of this stream right now. But Finducks, do bring out the Torbjorn on defense here. very interesting pick, especially with all the long range characters that we've already seen on this map. The turret is probably not going to live for very long.
Yeah, we're gonna see Mickey trying to get some early damage out here onto the point, onto the Orisa, who has been forced to retreat round. Now, the Torbjorn has interestingly set up his turret in that back area. Oh, Lenny getting a kill onto Zen. Probably gonna try peek this again, trying to just get the health back. Is able to
Playing
dodge
with
a
fire.
shot. Yeah, absolutely. Mickey able to get another kill though. That distraction being brought out from Blamey, just controlling a lot of space here now on the high ground.
Yeah, very impressive fight from both of the MC Solstice DPS here. And now they're just they opened up this map so much for their tank, and they're supposed to just push up, take good positions, and just take the next fight as they see fit. Obviously, no ultimates aligned so far because the fight just went over so quickly.
Yeah, now Sojourn looking to retreat here is not quite going to be able to find much value, but they do have that overclock charge, is not going to find anything from it as we approach the very end of the potentially the very end of the fight here. End of first point is where Finducks was held before, and with 250 on the clock, it's probably in the hands of LC Solstice, but not if their Orisa is dead, as that gives them a lot of space to push up and push back against our opponents. Zenyatta trying to look for an opportunity here, trying to look for a kill. Zen is an interesting choice from both of these teams. He is good on this map, but he's also a little odd. He's a little weird. That turret does come out.
Yeah, Roremi definitely making a case to redeem himself here on the Torbjorn, getting 2 final blows last fight. Also getting the headshot there. This is definitely not over yet. There's the overclock, the infrasight coming out very quickly from Blame. I wonder if they can actually hit something with it.
They don't seem to be able to, but the Terror Surge does force out the Zenyatta ult, and Mickey does fall in the end with 40 health on that Widowmaker. They are going to be forced to use a Zen healing orb on it, and now Orisa peeking that corner, trying to find an angle, trying to find an opportunity, but it's just going to be a war of attrition, and it's just going to be stalling out this fight as a whole. Now, Orisa is quite low for the side of Finducks. That might give them an opportunity to push up for MC Solstice here. But with the with the carpet of fire from Raw Mimi, I'm not sure if it's going to actually be able to allow MC Solstice to take much space, as they can just hold the point. They can just put Torbjorn's Lynch everywhere.
Yeah, and the magma has also been buffed this patch, right? So
Yeah.
I'm expecting it to come out very soon, right here, and it might do a lot of damage.
Yeah, I mean, not if he's dead though, and he looks to almost be dead. He did just survive, I believe, and now the Baptiste ultimate does come out. That is going to be so much damage. Yoshi not quite dying though, popping that Terror Surge, creating so much space, and that is a 2K for the side of Finducks. Now pushing it up, Genji in that backline, able to get 1-2 kills. Transcendence is popped onto the objective. They are holding, but by the skin of their teeth.
Yeah, I would have had to trans there, but there's just nothing you can do to touch this point anymore. Remy dies the last time for good measure. No, I'm being rude here. I think they put up a great fight, especially on the Torbjorn in the end.
Yeah.
But it was just like the margin of error was just so tight for the side of Finducks here, and obviously Blame having a phenomenal match both on the Widowmaker and on the Genji here. Great deflect. I think we almost missed that, and then the 2K there, almost getting the Torbjorn in time as well. Incredible play on the Genji.
Yeah, absolutely. That was brilliant. I mean, a good fight from Finducks there. They really held their ground for so long. But MC Solstice showing why they came here, showing that they are here to win and to take that crown. And 2-1 so far in this best of 7. It's coming down to 2 more wins for MC Solstice to take it home.
Yeah, that'd be impressive if they actually end up winning the next 2 maps as well. But I wouldn't put it past them. They have really seemed to have done their homework
Yeah.
since the last time these 2 teams met.
And I mean, they've stepped up the game as well. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Going from 0-3 to 2-1, like that's
And
pretty solid.
counting.
That's clear improvement of this team, and that is clear reading of their opponents.
Yeah, it's just the reason why the multiple brackets just make for such fun tournaments. It's
Yeah,
so good to
yeah.
see. It'd be so sad to have Solstice already be out at this point, right? Because they're putting up such a great fight, and actually not just putting up a fight, they're actually just currently winning this grand finals, and they definitely proven that they deserve to be here.
hmm Now, I mean, yeah, and there's been a lot of build up to this. These teams have been playing in a Swiss stage for months. Now they then went through a bracket, and now they're leading into this grand final here. As it's getting heated, it's getting close, it is getting tense between these two teams, and they are really, really showing what they're made of.
Absolutely. Also interesting to see how they've played without Octo, because he's
Mhm.
been a very important part of
Yeah.
their run so far, right? Uh, but MC Solstice, well, they seem to be able to win just as fine without him. So it just speaks to me that there's like a good dispersion of skill on this team. There's not like one player that absolutely just drags them across every single fight, but no, they just seem to be a great team overall.
hmm Now we are going to be going onto Flashpoint Sora Bassa next. Honestly, I don't love Flashpoints, but Flashpoint, but Saravasa is one of the better maps in my opinion. It's fun. There's interesting opportunities. There's interesting angles on it,
I
and
agree.
I think that the rotation from point to point is what makes or breaks this map and mode as a whole. And so it really leans into the more strategic elements of team play, how they're able to consider when they need to give up a point, when they need to leave, and when it's worth going to the next one.
I actually think Suravasa is probably the best Flashpoint map, and I also think it's just really pretty. I
I
just
mean,
like the
yeah.
way it looks. It's just a very nice color palette. So I just like every time I get to watch people play Suravasa, because it's just a good map to look at, and it also got a little overhaul with the new passageways on the coast side of the map. So yeah, I don't know if we'll actually see them be used, but it's definitely interesting to see the devs work on this map and improve it throughout time.
Mhm. Now, the ban of Venture for Finducks and Malga for MC Solstice, interesting choices here. Finducks potentially recognizing, hey, Venture is kind of an oppressive force here. Let's ban her. So then they have to keep improvising. They have to keep on doing things they're not quite comfortable with. And MC Sosa's banning Malga. Honestly, Malga's just annoying. He's a hard counter to specific characters and really good in specific comps. So I fully understand banning him. I think that is genuinely a great idea.
Yeah, Malga is also what they struggled against, right, on King's Row. So I
Yeah,
think that's a smart ban there. And the venture ban from Finducks, yeah,
yeah.
right. Probably indicates that Octo is back in for Soravasa, which would make a lot of sense because the venture is definitely a good pick on that map too.
Mm.
But we've seen that Octo is definitely not a one trick pony for a long time. They've been playing a lot of different characters and found well, I'd say a lot of success, honestly, with a very wide variety of different characters here. So I don't think that MC Solstice is sweating very much here.
No, no. I think this is still anyone's game, and it truly only time will tell which team will come out on top here in this match.
Yeah, and I mean, time will tell. Time does also pass by because this is just a long match. Like,
Yeah.
obviously, we could almost be done now if one team won all like all three of these maps, but no, it's split
Yeah.
2-1, and it's just difficult to play those long series, like especially for the players that don't have substitutes for their roles respectively. It's just
Yeah.
playing for this prolonged amount of time against a team that is evenly matched with you, and keeping your focus, staying in the zone, and leading a team of players that is also like swapping around you is just such an
Yeah.
incredibly difficult task.
Yeah. You have to respect it. These teams are doing almost gaming marathons to be here, and really, really impressive that they're still able to keep so concentrated and so in there. Because when you're playing in an esports match, you are not chill. You are panicking constantly. Now, I do have another hypothetical for you.
Oh,
If Overwatch characters were to play Overwatch, who would play what? Like, what would Melga play?
I think. Oh no, I think Mauga definitely likes Reinhardt. I think I think Mauga is very happy with playing Reinhardt, because both of them have the idea of just running and gunning it down. I guess Reinhardt doesn't have a lot of guns to work with, which Mauga does definitely like his guns, but I don't think there's a character that matches the way that matches the way that Mauga's personality would like to engage into a fight quite like Reinhardt. But I think you could make an argument for Diva, because the guns of the mech are obviously kind of similar to the way that Mauga is carrying to miniguns.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
What do you
And
think? What would Diva play? Our
what would
StarCraft
Diva
player? I
play?
think probably the most
Diva,
important question.
I mean, Diva would easily be the best Overwatch player out of
Yeah.
all of the roster. Um, I mean, I think Shield. Okay, so I think Diva, because she's like a popular icon, she's already seen herself in a lot of media and a lot of places, so she wouldn't be inclined to play herself. She'd be inclined to try someone else and try something different, potentially Winston. I don't think I'm
Winston.
crazy for saying that. I think there's enough tech there that like Winston's interesting, right? Winston, like, there's complicated stuff you can do with Winston, especially when it comes to like juggling. That she'll want to get her teeth sunk in and learn how to play Winston. Also, because she knows Winston.
Well, of course they all know each other, but yeah,
Except to Liari, they don't know Liari.
Well, I guess so. I guess so. Well, we'll have to see and check out what character Ilari will play. Maybe if the voice actor of Ilari is going to be at Stockholm this year, I might have to do an interview in the name of Crown Cup, to get to the bottom of this. But I think we have to put our favorite investigation on hold here and just have a look at these team compositions, which are a little all over the place until now. They're starting to make a little sense now.
I feel like Zen. Wait, no. I feel like Life Weaver would play Zenyatta, but anyway, I'm getting this out.
You had to get that out there. Okay.
I just
get
did.
it.
I just did. Now, interesting choice to potentially go on Sombra here for MC Solstice. Sombra is not awful right now. She keeps getting reworked every 5 minutes, and she's pretty strong. She's able to disrupt her backline a lot, and when there's so many paths on a map like this, it does give her space and opportunity to push it up. Now the Queen is going to push it up very far here early on. Mickey does die to add blue, and the Suzu on that knife. That's quite intelligent. That's quite clever. Now, ooh, Cassidy does get low, doesn't quite fall. It's going to be followed up on with the translocator.
Yeah. I wonder if this Sombra is actually like playable here, because Cass and Tracer does a really good job at both marking her, forcing out her cooldowns, and like just tapping her and like preventing her from getting close to anybody. So I think Sombra is actually very difficult to play in this specific scenario, but obviously they couldn't have known that before. But they do stick with it, and I think it's all right, because the tank matchup is all right for MC Solstice. I think I prefer the Orisa here.
Yeah, I prefer the odds that Finducks have, or MC Solstice have here via the tank matchup. But Octo does manage to get a kill onto my melee, and now pushing into that backline, Sojourn does look to be one, is just going to fall, and that's going to be forward momentum for Finducks, but MC Solstice pushed back, showing what they're made of and taking the point.
Yeah, Roremi taking a lot of different fights and duels that game, or that fight. Like, they were shooting at so many different targets, so MC Solstice was just so overwhelmed by the entire presence of, like, tracers everywhere, but actually it's just one tracer, I promise.
The Terror Surge on the objective, and the hack onto Queen, blocking out her
What a
movement
TP.
abilities out of it, and a nice CP headshot kill onto Cassidy. Now, this Sombra is really messing up their backline. Octo being subbed back in, showing why they're worth keeping on the team, and showing what they're made of. Now, Queen does look to be low, and potentially going to die here, as they get dealt with.
Yeah, I don't think Octo is going to be dropped anytime soon. What a Queen ult there for Finducks. Thought they could turn that fight, but Octo just decides to TP away, cleanse that status. But as I'm talking about them, they just fall to Marmelli, and this opens the point up for Finducks right there.
Now,
Two kills.
the Suzu. Oh my god! Incredible pulse bomb from Tracer there. Now, Sun pushing up onto the objective with a reclaim from Finducks. It's going to be difficult for MC Solstice to touch it. I don't think they'll be able to. They're probably just going to rotate to next point so they can get an early hold.
Yeah, Roremi taking out both the supports instantly there. That obviously makes the fight so much easier. And Octo tries to touch but dies for it, and they didn't even get it. Yeah,
No.
so I think Finducks are definitely up one now, and just moving up to the next point. And Octo just respawned, so they probably get to the point first and are able to posture up and take the good positions away from MC Solstice early.
Now, Queen is low, but does push back out, and the hack onto Orisa is going to find some value, is going to find a kill, almost gets Ajax as they jump with the beat, but does not quite. Now, this Lucio is just going to contest here. I don't think there was much point in that. The Queen was already dead, and it didn't really save anyone from dying. It really didn't add much value. It didn't help them reclaim the point.
Yeah, Octo did end up like engaging very fast with the EMP there, and I think it also caught him in some people, but it was just too fast for the team to follow up. Octo might die here again. Remy really making up for losing that last map and showing what he's made of on the Tracer.
Yeah. Now we're going to see the Cassidy coming out here with the Deadeye. Is not going to be able to find any value, just forcing the opponents back a little bit, buying a little bit of time on the objective. Now the Sombra hack, the virus does come out onto Cassidy, dealing a little bit of damage, forcing him to retreat. Now Orisa just shooting in, but from the backline through their team, that Queen ult got 4 kills total, and that's a really strong hold from Finducks on this second objective.
Yeah, Octo went back to spawn here. I wonder if they're gonna swap, but no, they're still gonna play the Sombra. I start to disagree with this pick more and more, but maybe they can make it happen. But there's a beat engage coming out from MC Solstice, very
Just
early,
touching.
very aggressive.
The Suzu is used, does not really block anything though, and that is going to give a lot of space and a lot of time to Finducks to work and deal a lot of damage to their opponents as Tracer Octo does fall, and that is a team kill. But the second objective is claimed by Finducks.
Yeah, this is definitely the point or the time in this match so far that's been the most dominant. Finducks were in control for the entire time there, and I was frankly not even scared they'd lose it. Very well played. MC Solstice coming up on a lot of ults here though, 4 in total. Octo being forced out early again though, so I wonder if Finducks are able to even get some point percentage here before the ult fight happens.
Yeah. Now Mike pushing up here, trying to find some value, trying to get a kill in this backline, and they do manage to kill Tracer with the help of Octo. Now Lucio looking low, but Cassidy looking even lower and more vulnerable, but he manages to find the hammer and get a kill. Octo and Yoshi both getting kills themselves with the point being taken.
Yeah, very good trigger control, I was gonna say, for the ultimates of MC Solstice. Not really being too eager to use any of them, just winning the fight with just the Kitsune Rush. Very impressive, very important for them to stabilize here and get themselves on the board.
Yeah, now we're going to see Octo trying to get land a virus here. Isn't going to quite be able to. And the hanging does come out alongside the Terror Surge, and the hack is going to get 2 kills onto the strategist support and a 3rd onto Junker Queen. Now, they've cleaned up. They've brought this back a little bit.
They definitely have, but I think Finducks might just have died early enough for them to be able to get a recontest, especially with the Tracer. And Roremi also has the Pulse Bomb back, so if they can Pulse Bomb 2 supports again, this fight is definitely over, but it's such a big ask. Roremi is at first.
Now Kiriko looking quite low and does fall in the end. Lucio also falling, but it's too late. MC Solstice have claimed the objective. They do need to get 2, and Finducks only need to get 1 more point here. So it's a little touch and go for both teams.
Yeah, but this was the sign of life that MC Solstice definitely needed. And yeah, I'm very glad that we're getting this incredible series. Panic here with the beat advantage, obviously. I wonder if Finducks have realized that they're at a disadvantage here, and if they play slower, or if MC Solstice just go early.
Ooh, that was a good pulse bomb. I thought they had dashed into their teammate there, and we're going to kill them as well, but didn't quite. Just managed to avoid it. The beat does come out alongside the Kiriko. And that's going to be a lot of value, that's going to be a lot of distance. The Suzu with the TP, but that's going to leave both supports completely vulnerable to the whims of Finducks.
Yeah, Finducks played that very well. MC Solstice did go for the beat engage that I was thinking about, but Finducks are able to just kite it very well. And with the pulse one coming out and finding a pick as well, it's just very well played. So now Solstice have to re-engage with basically 3 ultimates here, but they're still going up against 2.
And the Kitsune does come out alongside the Junker Queen. They managed to avoid the axe, but it's not quite enough as Mickey does eventually die. And now the Kiriko is just on point, trying to contest, trying to hold, trying to heal as much as they possibly can. And the Junker Queen does get hacked in the end. Is probably going to die here, but they keep alive, they stay alive. And Yoshi finally gets that kill.
Yeah, but it's not clean. Finducks do get the trades there onto Octa and Wisp, so it's difficult for FC Solstice to really play up here, which they probably would want to do with the ultimates that they have, lure them into like a trap for the overclock of Mike, but Mikey, but like it's not going to happen, especially with Wisp getting spawn camped by Roremi.
Ooh, the beat very early on and onto only 3 of the team. But that's going to allow them to save Suzu just a little bit longer, trying to force it out here. But with the Terror Surge there, it doesn't matter. They use the pillar to hide behind. Oh my gosh, Yoshi's so low, but so is Queen. Queen does manage to recover health before Yoshi does. Mickey eventually dying, and the retake of point from Finducks here is imminent.
Yoshi has to be kicking themselves. That's tragic, but MC Solstice are still holding on to this point for now, and they definitely can't give it up with this high percentage for Finducks.
Ooh, Lucio just died. That was a really, really good combo of the kit, even with the boot, as the retake does come out from Finducks, and 87% on point. It's going to be difficult to touch, let alone hold here. And potentially using the Queen over here just on the Orisa.
Yeah, I think it's over. I think we're looking at a 2-2 here.
Never mind. I mean, it probably is. It almost certainly is at this point. But, you know, it's fun to believe. It's fun to see the Sombra get a last-second touch. And the Tracer does it as well, with the dash out of the way and the Cassidy.
High noon as
No
well.
real reason.
Wow. Yeah, Finducks not going down without a fight, most certainly. They were really mad about losing that last map, and I think we have to give a big shout out to the Queen player, Space Cat here, doing so much on the Junker Queen to lead their team.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that was incredible. That was brilliant. But I also think that we saw quite a lot from Octo there.
Yeah.
Like, Octo being subbed in again did help MC Solstice. They were playing much better with them, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, but I still think the Sombra is just not a great pick into their composition. It's just so difficult. It's just so difficult. But then also stuff like for example, with just getting caught out so early by remembering me on that last point, it's just how do you win if your Kiriko just gets, I presume, probably like one clip or like 1v1 by their Tracer pre-fight? It's just such a difficult position to play from. I think they might have just had to, like, in retrospect, lose the fight and then like try to re-engage, but they couldn't really give up the point anyways because there was so much percentage for Finducks already. So yeah, I guess that just can't happen. But like, well played by Finducks.
I mean,
definitely
the venture ban was big for Finducks there. They restricted the capabilities of their opponents so much with it, but it cannot be reused. They can't ban venture again. So that's going to be open the rest of this match, which potentially leads Finducks into trying to play pokier, trying to play further range.
Yeah, I'd assume so. But yeah, obviously, like with basically the, I'd say, exemplary pick for Octo, the Venture, being back open, I think you do have to be kind of scared for Finducks, but obviously it's not that bad because you were just able to like deal with a character that has similar weaknesses. Like the Cassidy obviously is very good against both the Sombra and the Venture, so you might be able to still keep them like at bay. Talking about Octa there, but obviously they have struggled with it on different maps before. So I don't know. This is really anybody's game.
Yeah. Now we are going to be going on to Push next, I believe. Interesting map choices there. Interesting in how to play it. Interesting in what to do. But we are going to throw to a 5-minute break real quick. But be sure to stay tuned. We will be right back. Hello, hello. You're watching Crown Cup. I don't have
As
the
you
crown
should.
on. Clean, smooth. Let's. You know what? Can we take this from the top? Can we restart this intro?
Yeah.
Yeah. No. In all seriousness, this is Crown Cup. We are in the finals of the rookie division for Crown Cup Season 2. MC Solstice versus Finducks. So far, it's 2-2, best of 7. And these teams have been neck and neck. They've been at each other all night.
Yeah, we've basically just started back at zero now, kind of.
Yeah.
Like it's like
Yeah.
if this were best of 3, this is where we'd start. But no, we've already played 4 maps.
And
Yeah,
we've got 4 more to go. No.
4 more?
That's
Okay.
That's physically impossible.
I don't know if I do have the capabilities of concentrating on Overwatch for this long, but maybe potentially there's a way if the stars align right and the chakras are, I don't know.
I mean, look, I have the ability to concentrate on Overwatch in my dreams. I've slept that I'm
Okay,
shoutcasting,
freak.
woken up in a cold sweat. But
I mean, must have been a good game then, no? Like,
I'm sure it was. Let's hope none of these players have cold sweats right now, because they're about to go into it. They're about to head into this next match, which is going to be Push. I think Push is okay. I think it's decent. I think the way that teams play it can be very interesting. And when Cassidy is meta on certain push maps, he can really stall it out. It forces teams to play so weirdly and so unintuitively to how you would expect it to be played, but it works.
yeah, definitely. And Cassidy, now that you've talked about him with like the perk change that we talked about earlier, it's just such an explosive character, right? Where you just stand there poking for like ages, and then
Mhm.
suddenly stuff gets in range, and like at this level, people just get 2 tapped. Like
Yeah.
Cassidy is just ruthless, and just yeah,
Mhm.
it's just how do you play if you're dead? You know,
Yeah.
there's not much to do.
No. So Esperanza was the map I was thinking of. When Cassidy's like hard meta and teams want to play in a very specific way on push, they'll choose Esperanza, only push it to like the first checkpoint, and then with Cassidy, it'll hold so much space on the high ground and make it so difficult for their opponents to push by focusing their entire comp around the Cassidy ult rotation so
Yeah.
that they never lose 2 fights in a row. It is so boring, but it's also
Wow.
kind of interesting from a studying perspective. And so I'm excited to see if they're able to replicate that here, if either of these teams want to commit to that. But I don't think they will, because these teams love Brawl, and who can blame them? Brawl is fun.
Yeah, well, we've mostly seen the Cassidy as a reaction in this match to like characters like the Avenger, the Sombra, the Tracer, stuff like that. So I think it's going to be interesting to see if any of the teams decide to actually roll out on it. Especially because the Sojourn ban is obviously already gone, and Sojourn is also very strong on a lot of these push maps. So, you actually guessed correctly.
Speak of the devil.
Yeah. And Sojourn is also very good on Esperanza. Like a lot of like good high grounds for Sojourn
Yeah.
and like long sidelines. I probably expect them to roll out on the Sojourn and maybe adapt to play the Cassidy later on if, for example, somebody like Octa is acting up on the Venture.
I feel like we've managed to predict what map's been chosen 4 times so
It's
far.
eerie. It's eerie.
It's weird. It's kind of disturbing, and I'm worried I'm in the Truman Show. But I mean, maybe they're just predictable teams. Who knows?
Maybe production is also just playing a prank on us, and they're just they're just waiting until we say a map, and then they force the other teams to force the teams to just play the map that we've called.
Okay. Clintar from Marvel Rivals.
Okay.
Heaven? Wait, no.
Now we're cooking.
Icebox.
Nuketown.
Valorant.
Nuketown. Let's go.
Nuketown.
Oh my, I would
Uh,
love to
Urchin
see some.
Underpass.
Okay, we're getting a bit too creative here. I think maybe next time we just like
The
next time
back
on
rooms.
the back rooms. I was actually thinking of like maybe we can do crown caps in different Minecraft biomes, like tundra, like desert. That'd be very interesting.
What if we ported Overwatch into Minecraft?
I'm sure there's somebody
That
listening
would be
that can do
awful.
that
I
right
hate that.
now.
No, please don't. I truly hate when those engines just replicate already existing games and make them worse. Anyway,
So, so basically, what
it
Zeus
would
is
be
saying
funny.
here is, if we got a Crown Cup Minecraft mod to replicate Overwatch, we would be live every day with just Tracer 1v1s in
No,
Minecraft,
no,
with
no.
Zeus and me
Cut,
just
cut,
playing.
abort, please.
Okay, well, maybe back to the real Overwatch. The bands so far have obviously been Venture, Mauga, Sigma, Hanzo, Sojourn, Orisa, Cassidy, and Zarya. So all
And
of
that's
those
just one
characters,
game.
and all of those characters cannot be banned again. So it's like you at some point you also run out of relevant characters to
I mean,
ban, right?
we'll end
Like
up with like Mercy and Torbjorn.
I mean, we've seen the Torbjorn, so
Yeah,
like like Torbjorn would almost make sense, but Mercy, yeah.
Doomface.
Well,
You see little
yeah,
bits of Doomfist here and there. He's not very good though. It's a shame because
yeah.
he's fun. But to be fair, if he was too strong, he could just mess everything up so easily. Um,
The other day, I saw a montage of old DPS Doomfist clips, and oh my god, I like as a
was it
DPS
Super?
player, of course I miss it. No, it wasn't, but of
Ah,
course I miss it. Like it was so, it was so satisfying to just punch in, get that one kill, and instantly like uppercut, seismic slam. Oh my god, it cycled so well, but it just didn't feel
it
like
did.
Overwatch
It
anymore.
truly did. But the problem was Seismic Slam was the buggiest ability in the game, and 90% of the time did not work.
Well, it was perfect, absolutely perfect to every last minute detail. Seismic slam,
Aside
my
from all of
baby.
them.
Yeah, I I
I
also
mean,
love.
that's why I like Venture though. They feel a lot like old Doomfist did, where they don't. They're not the exact same. They're not a clone, but they fill a very similar role of going into the backlight and messing stuff up with a lot of CC and a lot of personal survivability. But they're healthier than old Doom was because they're more obvious, they're more out there, and they're clearer to see where they're going.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree, and I also think it's like Doomfist played a lot like just hiding somewhere, especially on like high grounds, and just waiting for your team to like walk underneath and just seismic slam and get like I don't know 100 charge or something, uppercut, two bullets from the handgun, and just punch out, and you're probably just gonna kill a support every single fight. And Venture just can't really do it the same way because the like their engagement would be with like Burrow most of the time, but like they can really not burrow all the time, right? Like it's just a very short window,
Yeah.
whereas old Doomfist was just able to hide somewhere basically indefinitely and just lure them into a trap.
Now, here's an interesting question: would Venture eat rock ice cream?
Yes,
Rocky
no
Road ice cream?
no questions asked. Yes,
So
Venture
which
does
one?
all. uh, I don't know if they discriminate. I don't think
Uh,
they do.
I do unfortunately feel like we're getting into TLC territory, so I'm going to pivot us back to the hero bands. Finducks have banned Sombra, and MC Sauces have banned Diva. Sombra is an interesting choice here. We did see Octo use Sombra last game to some effect, but with two counters, it is difficult. And even with those counters, they did damn well. Now, MC
Yeah,
Sauces have banned Diva. Diva is an interesting choice here. We've seen a little bit of it from Finducks, but relatively little. Actually, I don't think we have seen it from Finducks yet.
I was gonna
This
say I
is. weird.
Don't
No
remember any
supports
diva.
have been banned yet. These teams have almost every game ran Kiriko Lucio, and they seem to want to stick to it.
Yeah, obviously, like with the introduction of Wu Yang, a lot of teams like scrim with that character. So it's like it's very easy to just default back to what worked before Wu Yang was added, and well, Lucio Kiri is just a very solid, very dependable backline.
Hmm.
Very difficult to dive as well. Uh, so yeah, I feel like it's also just difficult for either team to ban any support character because you're just hurting as much as the other team is anyways. The only thing that like we've seen really was I remember the Ilari on circuit obviously. But otherwise we've really stuck to the script of playing Lucy Kiriko for the most part.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So I believe the teams are about to get into it, about to enter this fifth game in a best of seven. It's really gone all the way. It's really, really pushed the limits of what these teams can and will do. But it's been pretty good so far. It's been entertaining as hell.
Yeah, this has been a great time so far. Also, I'm getting confirmation that we're about to go into the game any second now. Which I'm so excited to do. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Esperanza, no Sombra, which is
Woohoo!
definitely a relief for a lot of the support players. I can imagine just having the ever lurking presence of an invisible hacker is just yeah too much to deal with. Finducks don't want it around, so they just ban it outright, and I can definitely feel with them for that decision.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Now, Finducks. Now, we're about to see the hero choices here. And Winston from Yoshi. Interesting choice. Winston's not very good right now, not hard meta. He's fun and interesting, but I think that Finducks have the right idea in Queen. Mirror comp, though.
I also
Outside of
think
that,
in this final we're past purely fun. I think
yeah.
you have to consider what is meta. So if Yoshi can make this work, I'll be even more impressed, especially against a team like Finducks and Space
Yeah.
Cat, who has been great on the Queen so far.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, the choice to swap to Sojourn here instead of the into the Genji. But Octo showing why they're dominant, showing why they're the better tracer. That was a clean kill and close.
Yeah, Octo does not care.
Yeah, Octo doesn't mess around. He's got 8 arms. He will mess you up with every single one. Now the Queen just dying. This Genji got like 3 kills in a row here, as the point is going to be pushed by Solstice. And honestly, their ability to work with the Tracer 1v1 again with the Winston is impressive here. It creates an opportunity for the diving DPS, and the instant swap to Mauga is going to be rough.
That's just how competitive tournaments go. You just do what you think gives you the best chance of winning the game, and I think Mauga is not a bad shout here. Yeah, good pun.
Ooh, nice
wow, what a
drop
jump.
onto that backline, avoiding the overrun. But it's going to give a lot of space to Finducks, which they're going to use plenty of. Able to get 3 kills total, and Yoshi does fall in the end, getting one himself. Now, Octo isn't going to be able to win a 1v4, and that's not shocking. Why would they be able to?
they really didn't have anybody to pinch the people that were affected by Yoshi's jump there. However, Yoshi decides that the Winston is still the correct pick here against the Maga, which can be fine. It's alright. However, Blame is already super low.
And a nice kill from... I cannot be bothered trying to pronounce that name. But Mauga, as this is a lot of pressure from Finducks here, finally pushing up onto their opponents and winning a second fight in a row. This looks to be in the side for the side of MC Solstice, but has quickly flipped.
Yeah, Yoshi's hopping over to the Orisa here, which I think is reasonable
Yeah.
against the Mauga.
But I am
But
worried. That's their third tank this game, and it might just be a back and forth copy throughout the rest of this, as the Kitsune is popped by both teams, and ooh, Orisa does fall in the end though.
yeah, this is looking really good for Finducks. Only really using the Kitsune there. Maybe the pulse bump earlier in the fight. But yeah, that's very impressive. Blade does get the kill onto Sundo, and Octa is back on their signature venture character.
Now Trace up looking low, just trying to find an angle onto them. Isn't quite going to be able to. Octo in this backline here, at least, at the very least, drawing attention, but is going to be low now as they pop up out of the ground and is just going to be followed up on. The beat from MC Solstice isn't going to quite save them, and now the cage from Malga is going to find Orisa and a 2K with a single shot. That's nasty.
Yeah, this is still looking great for Finducks. Like more than 120 meters already now, more than tripling what MC Solstice have, and they're still not done. They still have beat and pulse bomb ready to go, and MC Solstice don't really have anything on the board yet.
Absolutely. Now trying to push it up, and they've almost got it all the way. Are they going to be able to do this? But the Suzu on that Orisa ultimate is going to counter it. They deal a lot of damage. They get a lot of kills. You very rarely see a team push all the way on to push, but I think they've done it.
Yeah.
They have.
Wow. Well, I revised my statement from earlier. This was the most dominant part that we've seen
Yeah.
throughout this finals.
They
It
just
looked good from Solstice in the beginning, but I think Finducks didn't lose a fight on Mauga, did they? I think they
No.
just ran over them.
They really performed well there. They had a rough going at the start because they got countered, but as soon as they adjusted for it, they started re-rolling their opponents.
Yeah.
But we're potentially
Also,
going into the last game of the rookie division for Crown Cup Season 2. It's going to be match point for uh, Finducks here. The question is, will their opponents be able to win 2 in a row?
yeah, and any game from now on will be match point for one of the teams.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be putting so much more pressure onto MC Solstice, who we've been talking about a lot because obviously they did lose their last encounter. So it kind of feels like they have the game slipping away from them, like in front of their eyes, and it must feel so scary to see how you've like already beaten Finducks on multiple maps and like done so well, and now feel it slipping out of your hands. They do have to come up with something new here.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I think it's obligatory at this point. But I'm excited to see what happens. I think this is leaning towards the side of Finduck, but I'm not putting any money on this. I am not leaning towards any side, especially because we've seen some incredible turnarounds in several games so far from both sides here. So I think it's truly anyone's game, but not forever to play it in. Only about 30 minutes to an hour.
I mean, that's just not gonna happen with these teams. These teams are just too neck and neck. But maybe we might see Finducks pulling away with it. Maybe they just slept better last night. Maybe they woke up later. Maybe they're just more awake. I don't know. They were not. They seem like they're very well prepared and like they have a good grasp on how to deal with Solstice.
Yeah, and we are going to be going on to Escort next, which potentially leads to a clone game. Because we could see the same map again. I
I
don't
don't
quite
believe
remember what it
we.
was.
I don't believe we do. I think we're just. I don't think the same map can be picked again here.
No, I'm pretty sure it can actually, which
Really?
is yeah, it can, which is strange and honestly somewhat exciting. Um,
Yeah.
because it can. I was wrong. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna go over here.
No, that's all right. I'll just continue solo casting and yapping on about Overwatch while we get our teams ready to go into a new map, as we've now learned. We will not see the same map again, which is fine, which is very fun. Yeah, I don't have the map pool in my head right now for the other escort maps. Maybe we can get something like that back on the screen.
Um,
Uh, or maybe you have it.
I
Uh,
mean, we're looking at Havana. We already had, of course, Casino Royale. Shambali Monastery is fun. Um, but I believe we've just got it back up. Yes.
yeah,
Now,
so Rialto, Root, or Havana.
mhm.
Very interesting. They picked Havana actually, so uh yeah, not what I expected. I expected them to pick Rialto, honestly.
Yeah, same. Because I mean, both teams have Alicio, so they can boot them up hopefully. But real speak, Rialto's an interesting one. It's very dive focused, and these teams do shy away from dive a lot. They tend to focus on other types of compositions, other types of strategies. So maybe that's where they're coming from. Maybe that's what they're trying to do. We are going to hopefully see some brawl here, though. I mean, Poke does also work well on this map. We might see a Sojourn. Neither team feels inclined to play Freya, which is interesting overall, but like, Adventure's still good on here.
Yeah, but I think Venture is still very difficult to play because it's like there's still a lot of open space, especially on first and
Yeah.
third point. Obviously, I think second point is where you can really make a case for Venture.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, well, we'll really have to see. But like, obviously, Octo is not a one trick, but yeah, their Venture is just the part of their hero pro that makes them like very special, very standout-ish. Um, yeah, but I think Havana, like the way that I would approach it with like modern Overwatch, would definitely be more dive centered, more dive focused than what we've seen from the teams, as you said. So I wonder what their strategy is to actually like break through. Will we see some Symmetra teleports again, or will we just see them? Well, we've seen them play the hazard as well to take control of some of the high grounds, but I don't think we'll see. I don't know, something like Zarya just feels too slow for first point, for example. Maybe they go Sigma, but we haven't seen it. Although it has also been banned on the other escort map. I don't know. I can't like it's really difficult for me to predict what kind of
Yeah.
composition they can really
Yeah.
play here from my understanding of what's
Ooh.
going on. And it's not going to be Hazard. All right.
Hazard and Tracer bans. Honestly, I don't hate these. We are at the point in this set where it's difficult to choose who to ban, especially when the both teams have comfort picks in supports, and so they don't want to ban that really. But Hazard is good on this map. He's also been played a reasonable amount by Solstice, not to great effect though. And Tracer has been played plenty by Finducks and also I believe Solstice a little bit. So it makes sense. It is a good character to ban here.
Yeah, but as I said, it makes it so much like I don't see them playing the Orisa, to be honest, for example. Like I think Orisa is just, especially on attack, it's just so difficult to take the space unless you're playing with like a Widowmaker again
But
and like playing off of picks. I don't
uh,
know.
I understand where you're coming from. But on a map with such long sightlines, I think Arisa is actually quite viable here, and there's a reasonable chance she's played.
Yeah, no, that's a valid point actually.
Like in a meta where Sigma's kind of in the ground, there's no point to play him. What other option do you have for long ranged tanks? It's only really Arisa.
Well, Ramatra, but he's also not great at the
Yeah,
moment.
Ramatra's most effective at close range. And yeah, he's not great. He can work well, into specific comps, but when like Zarya is actually pretty good, and as is Reaper, it's easy to swap to counter.
Yeah. No, I think I think you convinced me. I think we might see the Orisa. But yeah, it just feels so weird that they pick Havana if they're not going to play
Yeah,
a lot of dive here
yeah.
or like even I don't know, maybe they play off of picks like with long range characters, but maybe they also just decide to play inside the I don't even know what that's called, the saloon or the the big house on the left side of attacker spawn basically.
Mhm,
Maybe they have a rotation where they can run through there and cross and go on their stairs basically take the high ground away from them. That could be an interesting rotation and an interesting adaptation depending on what the other team is playing respectively.
mhm. Yeah. Now, I've got another really interesting and really, really important question. If Orisa could
Hit me
eat,
with it.
what would Orisa eat first?
Um, for some reason, uh, the first thing I was thinking of was I have to look up what it is. Was like something like some like something like parsley or something. I feel
Just
like
parsley. I love
no,
that. Yeah.
because it's like so many people just don't like it, and like I wonder what Orisa's like somewhat unbiased like opinion would be, because obviously they would have never had it before, so I think it might be good to maybe let her eat foods that, or like, oh, for her first food be something that people just can't agree on if it's good or gross. But I think
Yeah.
there's a lot more foods that apply to that are more relevant to more people than just parsley by itself.
Okay. So our yeah. I mean our prod has just said very small chips. Some would call them microchips, and I feel like quitting. But I mean, I would argue it would be like the most nutritionally healthy food, like theoretically, nutritionally healthy food. So like bananas or something, like a superfood.
Oh, okay. I was thinking of like boiled chicken, boiled rice, some broccoli, like the typical gym bro meal. Anyways, getting
I
back
mean,
into the
Arisa
game.
gotta get those gains.
She's buff, bro.
Yeah,
Well,
have you seen those legs? She's got 4 of them. Now we are going to see an interesting comp here from Finducks with the Sigma. Sigma's not very good right now, but he does complement this comp quite well. He's very independent, which is good when you have less healing from someone like the Zenyatta. Now, an early kill there onto Orisa. She really overcommitted, and they just let her
what a
do
right
it
click.
because they know they could take control.
Yeah, great right click by Scars though
Yeah.
to get the kill onto Marmelli. And like on the Cassidy, you just take so long to walk all the way back. So this is basically a 6v5 for what is probably most of this point.
Scar, yeah. Um, and I believe that we've seen a bench again for Octo here, which is interesting. I mean, I understand that there was a ban, but again, I feel like Octo's potentially the biggest asset here, and to not use her is wild.
Well, but the Transcendence already forced out for Scars, but it seems to have done the trick very well for MC Solstice. And well, the Sigma is just getting staggered, and this is the first point, no doubts about it.
Yeah, yeah. Solstice figuring out what to do here, retaking the point and taking control of the fight.
Surely we don't go to 3-3 to the double match point.
I mean, it would be a cinematic finale. It would be a brilliant ending here at Crown Cup Rookie Division.
Another kill into Aurora Mimi. Wow.
Now, ooh, that was a good beam, or a good orb shot from Sojourn there, able to restrict a lot of access for the enemy team. Now, their foes are really hunkering down and really stuck in this corridor, struggling to find an opportunity out. But Bladeby did dive and did get punished for it. Yoshi getting rid of the turret isn't quite going to be enough, as that shield is brought out to block the spear to follow it up. Now we're going to see a Sigma onto two of them, and they are screwed.
Yeah. Using two ultimates there, both the Torbjorn ultimate and the Gravitic Flux by the Sigma, but I think it's actually quite fine because Finducks have been saving up those ultimates and still have 3 in the bank here to have a chance of responding to what is basically 5 ultimates for the side of MC Solstice. I wonder who's going to make the first move here. It's probably going to be Solstice, but at the same time, I think Finducks would have to struggle a lot with playing slowly here.
Absolutely, Raw Mimi doing quite well here at holding and pushing their opponents back, but forced to retreat in the end. Now the window of opportunity does come out, an early kill onto Bladesmith with the rock from Sigma. Now a lot of pressure onto their opponents. They are having to break LOS to avoid that window of opportunity with the entire team there as well. This is a slow comp Finducks have, and a nice kill from Mickey there as Yoshi also clearing up onto their opponents, trying to kill Zen. Won't quite be able to manage it, but will in the end, it turns out.
Yeah, that was a great off angle from Mikey. Very impressive, and they still have 4 ultimates in the bank for MC Solstice. And it's so difficult for Finducks to push back into this. Those are tiny choke points, and they don't really have ultimates to facilitate it.
Now, an early kill onto Sigma there, as the guy is popped. Does not find a kill in the end, but he does fool himself eventually.
Yeah, kind of just cheap fights for MC Solstice. Again, not using anything and even getting ultimates out of them, out of Finducks here. Myram also sees that and swaps over to the Widowmaker here for the 3rd point, which obviously makes a lot of sense and immediately pays off.
Yeah, that was a nasty kill from that Widowmaker. An interesting swap too, potentially going to be able to do a lot, but with Mike there able to wall her off with that ult, it potentially will limit what they're able to do.
Yeah, trans push coming out here though for the side of Finducks. Finally getting active, being proactive in this and using ultimates first, and MC Solstice just kind of seem paralyzed. They just don't do anything, they don't pop anything, but they again have 5 ultimates for the next fight. It's just, yeah, I don't know, it's just really difficult for them to lose at this point, basically, because they still have 2 minutes 30, 5 ults in the bank, and are basically always already halfway there.
The personal Sigma shield for that Widowmaker. There's going to be an expectation that they get a kill here, and if they do, it might flip the game, but there's a DC! The game's been paused for 2 minutes, I believe. We should be back relatively soon, hopefully.
Yeah, I got my first pick of the game right there. Shut down one of the computers. That's my doing. Don't worry, I am definitely impartial. No, I'm just kidding. Very, yeah. Well, I guess one ultimate is down for MC Solstice, but it's still so overwhelming. But I think what Finducks have been doing very well. Miriam on the Widowmaker has been definitely paying off. It's obviously a gamble if your Widowmaker is just gonna hit the shot or not, but looks like more likely than not, Miriam is just hitting those.
Now, I'm excited to see what happens here. I think that I think that MC Solstice have a strong potential to win this map, but it's still touch and go. The Finducks have tried to play this comp that's very stall heavy, where they're not necessarily expecting to win fights, but they're expecting to make them so long that their opponents don't make progress. And it's not really working. They've got 3 minutes 40 on the clock and are most of the way to the final point. Oh, only 2 minutes 20, actually. Scratch that. But it's going to be difficult for their opponents to push up here, especially when there's a graphitic flux trying
what
to
a
heal.
spear.
Two of them
What
will
a
be able to
spear.
get Orisa, but the Transcendence does come out, forcing a support is useful still. And I'm not sure if Sigma's going to be able to do much here. Is able to gain a lot of overhealth though. That is going to be threatening, and the Widowmaker shot just walking into it. But with the Genji deflecting, isn't going to be able to get a kill onto them. And the Orisa's looking for that Widowmaker.
Yeah, Widowmaker low HP here, lands as well, but they're looking for the Infanticide here, and they might have just done enough there last fight with the Widowmaker, getting 2 or 3 picks, I believe, just being able to like take a like normal fight here and getting another kill through the window. Incredible. Wait, was almost dead.
No! Oh my god, that's so tragic. And
What
Finducks
a-
all died there as well.
What a curse of our observer Ember watching that. Oh, that's tragic. However, I don't think it really mattered too much in the grand scheme of things. Finducks now on the Zarya. We finally circled all the way back around to seeing the Zarya. Probably a good
Banned
pick.
first in
yeah.
the first game, I believe. So that is quite ironic, given that this is the first time Zarya's been played so far. But will it be the only? Time can only tell, as Orisa is pushed into this corner and is already low, even through the fortify. Now Zarya having a lot of damage. That beam is so threatening, especially on this point where you can hold corners so easily and so well on defense. 30 seconds on the clock for Finducks to make it about 20 meters.
Yeah, MC Solstice really have lost their big ultimate advantage. And now they might even get grabbed next fight, depending on the charge of Space Cat here, and like both ultimate charge and
Oh no! Oh my god!
Oh,
It
what the-
happened again!
That-
It was the
that's
other Genji
incredible.
this time!
That's
How?
incredible.
This is
Anyways, moving on. Both chances have been used here. We still have the window for a panic though.
That's really funny. The reverse happened. Genji fell, and then all of MC Solstice fell. But Genji fell, and then all of Finducks fell. Oh, the blade on the point will get countered as Genji dashes through him to kill him. Finally, MC Solstice making it all the way, but with 0 seconds on the clock, they will have to fight in overtime if their opponents make it all the way as well.
I am too stunned to speak. I don't know what to say. Our observer is just the best the best available, the best in the world. How do you catch both of those Genjis like seconds before they even like fall off the same ledge? That's incredible. And what are the chances of that even happening? I am yeah. Please keep casting. I'm mind blown. I can't talk. I'm overwhelmed.
Someone please clip both of those. I feel a TikTok incoming. As our producer was quite glad we captured that, and then shocked we got it a second time.
Yeah, that
You
incredible
can't make
stuff right
this
there.
up. You can't write this.
Well, if somebody wrote this, good job, bro. Holy shit, they're doing so well with the writing over here at Crown Cup. Good match fixing, good rigging. Holy shit.
I mean, this is why esports is better than traditional sports, because in no basket game do 2 players jump off the map.
that'd be a national tragedy. No, I definitely hope so. Myram's still sticking on the Widowmaker here, doing so much for the team on that last point on defense, and now doing this, trying to do the same on attack. But obviously, MC Solstice took all 3 points on Escort, on Havana, which is a difficult map to complete. So I'll be looking forward to see if Finducks can actually push through and get all 3 points as well, or if we're actually going to a match 7.
Yoshi choosing to hold quite far back here. Interesting choice. I think it makes a lot of sense though. You do give your opponent space, yes, but it's not really useful space, and that's what's important when it comes to Overwatch. Now we are going to see the Orisa has taken a lot of damage here with the Genji in that backline trying to find a kill. Will not quite be able to, but oh, the Sojourn does charge up. Zarya quite a lot there.
Yeah, they've gotten so much space, Finducks that is, just off of walking and like bullying the side of MC Solstice back into their own spawn.
The ragdoll in this game is so funny sometimes.
Very much agreed.
Now, we're going to see a lot of pressure on this Orisa here, but it's not going to quite be enough. They're not going to quite
She's
push through that hard.
Oh, never mind. They have a BAP, I forgot.
Yeah, the bat really coming in clutch here to save their team. And Genji does fall in the end, even through the immortality field. Did not quite much
is
in
doing
time.
so much here.
Now, Orisa is alone on the objective, I believe. They should be pushing up here. They should be trying to take it back. Ooh, and a Genji. Nice kill from Genji.
God,
Will he get a 2K? Will he get a 2K?
Defense.
He does! He gets a 2K. That was nasty. From a guy who just jumped off the map. That was impressive.
That's 4 kills in that one fight for Rememi. That's incredible stuff.
And one of them wasn't himself this time. Sorry, I feel like I've driven it home too much now.
Well, let's look at what this next fight has to offer for us here. Finducks obviously has a little bit more ultimates here, but it's still difficult to like even get to a position where they can actually use them with the Hanzo and the Sojourn in play.
Now Mimi looking to find an opportunity, looking to find an angle here. Ooh, and not quite being able to get a kill onto the Hanzo. But they do have... will they be able to fight their way out of this, or will they die? They die. Okay, they'll probably get back if this is a long fight by the end of it. Now, the immortality field does come out. That comes in clutch to resisting that entire ultimate. But it is a long cooldown, and the kill onto the entirety of Finducks from the side of MC Solstice is going to mess them up a lot.
But to be fair, the Transcendence by Scars, I don't know if I agree with it. And dying early, I definitely don't agree with that, because it just opens up everything for Rememi to go in with the blade right here, or the graph, or whatever. Like, they have so many options, and I think Scars is really kicking themselves here.
Now, interesting choice from Mickey here to try and push it up, as Yoshi does kind of get lost in the source, not really sure what they're doing, and falls because of it. Now, that is a strong push up with that blade here, now able to get two kills from it, but enables 4, I believe.
Yeah. Very, very frugal with their ultimates, Finducks. But well, very well done. Like, if you're winning the fights despite of it, very well done. Just super impressive. Rolling into third point with 4 ultimates already on the board. Still in the ult advantage, but we've already seen that that doesn't really mean too much to these teams a lot of the time.
But their opponents having 3 doesn't really count as the amount of the running. It's how you use them, not how many you have. But that was a nasty kill onto Sojourn.
Yeah. However, still, Finducks with the Zarya just pushing up so deep, so often.
No. Not quite able to get a kill onto Sojourn there, but Raw Mimi really doing a lot, trying to push back their opponents quite heavily and being good at it. Now the overclock with the Graviton Surge, that's gonna allow for 1 kill. Raw Mimi getting 1 on the backline as well. The Hanzo is going to try and find value and won't really with those dragons. It was a little bit of a wasted ult there in my opinion.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Both support ults still available for Finducks here to prepare for a very scrappy fight on point, especially to counter the Terra Surge from Yoshi, obviously. Can't counter that headshot though.
Now, interesting choice of play here as oh, a nasty kill, just popping that LOS. And that is an odd window. I'm not entirely convinced by it. It's good for healing the backline, I suppose. But when you've got a Transcendence in the other team, healing's fine. You can't really pace that. But the 2 kills from
wait, is it turnable?
Are going to be big. I think it is. Depending on how this Zarya plays, they are
think
going
better
to
of it.
retreat in the end. That is a sensible choice, as Zarya does end up, as MC Solstice are able to recover quicker than their then Finducks are here.
Scars,
But 2 minutes on the clock. Can they cap it?
Yeah, Scar's just right-clicking people right, left, and center. Just like, oh, Mermelli, do you live? Do you live? Yes,
they just
do.
about live, taking that perk for 2 slides. Came in clutch there. But with this Hanzo, really pushing their opponents back. The sonar onto 3 of them. Not anything to necessarily follow that up with aside from Hanzo's range, but I'm not sure if it's going to be enough here, as Hanzo's a very hit or miss character, and this seems to be a body shot bandit, so they're missing more than they're hitting. But that was an insane blade, a 3k into a 4k with 1 minute 27 on the clock. I believe they've capped it.
Yeah, they have to have. Wow. More than twice the amount of time than MC Solstice for this.
I mean,
for what might
times. Be. They were on 0, but
no,
now...
but going into it.
Yeah, sorry.
Going into the overtime, into the extension here, and if this is the last map, it is so fitting for this game to go into overtime first on the first attack, and then go into extra rounds for this attack for both teams here.
Yeah.
MC Solstice obviously
it's come
attacking
full
first.
circle, guys.
Yeah, that's definitely true. We didn't go to all 3 rounds of Li Jiang in the beginning, but we're going to all 4 on Havana, or 6,
really like
or 8, or 10.
I hope not. There's kind of a bell curve of it gets exciting and then it gets boring. And I feel like once you're at 6, it's getting boring. But
I did watch a video about the longest games in esports history. Hopefully we're not in it today because these people were playing for literal days.
Don't worry, at least it's not Stadium where matches take hours.
Yeah, I also couldn't cast Stadium. That mode is incredible.
I think you could if it was balanced, but it's not. Now, I'm interested to see what Finducks are able to do here. I'm not sure how they're going to play this. They seem to be playing it quite far back, looking to win fights instead of spool out the objective as much as possible, which potentially makes sense, but when your opponents have far less time than you, I think it's safe to do the opposite. Now, Mickey trying to find trying to find some damage here, trying to find a line of sight, but with Zarya being at full charge or at high charge, there's not a lot you can do, and so long as they don't die, it's going to be difficult for MC Solstice to push up here.
Yeah, the resource trade was just great for Finducks there. They forced the defensive resource abilities and the CZ out early, and if they do it again this fight, this grand finals might just be over.
Yeah, now the Orisa Spear does come out. That gives a lot of space for the side of Finducks, but with the bubble onto Genji, that's going to give Zarya so much charge to work with here. And Yoshi looking so low, looking at 100 health, 200, is going to fully recover though with that Kitsune rush, and it was a good one at that. This is chaos, this is madness. I don't think anyone knows what's going on here, as they've done it. They've held at first point on the first corner. I think Finducks have this. 2 minutes 20 to get that far is
I hate to say it, but Finducks had even more ults in the bank and coming up. They were not losing that. It's just tragic. The MC Solstice really lost that on the first corner that we're looking at right now, because it's just they just got forced out so quickly with so many defensive abilities. It's just difficult to play the Orisa into the Zarya, especially if somebody's as skilled on that character as Space Cat.
Now, this could be it. We could be looking at the last minute of Crown Cup Season 2 challenge. Oh wait, no, Rookie Division. Yeah.
We should be at Season 3 already. No.
Are we on Season 3? Did I mess up?
I'm pretty sure this is Season 3. Oh, as long as we didn't time travel. I think this might be.
3. I messed up.
I think this might be the ending of
Going out in
Crown
style,
Cup
that's what we do
Season
here.
3. Crown Cup Season 3 Rookie Division. And gates are opening right now. Miriam is on the Widow again. This is scary for MC Solstice.
Mhm. I mean, a cheeky Widow kill could turn the tide of the entire tournament here. Truly, every second, every shot matters so heavily here. With already a little bit of progress, they've made it about halfway, but that's the easiest half. And Reaper in the backline with the bubble, potentially going to be quite threatening, but not into a Zarya mirror.
Yeah, Yoshi playing the Zarya as well, as he said here.
Ooh.
Thinking better of the Orisa. Playing very well with his Reaper, but I'm not sure it's enough.
No, not quite. As they are almost at this corner, they've almost taken it all the way, but so close yet so far as they all die on the point. With a minute 30 left, they could still do it, but they have to get at least one strong push. And if MC Solstice don't do it, if MC Solstice can't hold here, they're out. If Finducks can't push here, they've lost. I believe. No, if Finducks can push here, they've got another chance next game.
I mean, it would be fitting to this game. But Blame did a lot last fight, but he doesn't do a lot this fight. Dies early.
Now Zarya 1v1 shooting each other, trying to find value, trying to find an opportunity to get a kill here. And the Genji bubble is going to allow him to get a kill onto Panic and almost gets his kill second onto Kiriko in that backline. But will get one onto Zarya, and a 3k for this Genji is going to come in clutch. Will they make it a 4? And they absolutely will. They have capped it. Finducks have won the Rookie Division of Marvel Rivals. No, Crown Cup Season 3 Rookie Division.
Wow.
Listen, it's been a long day.
It has been. I am not mad at you at all, and I am not mad at watching Mermelly's play of the game either. This was incredible. Both this play, the series, and like everything we've seen today. That was, wow, what an evening of Overwatch.
And that was a good Widow play at the end.
Well,
Finducks
yeah,
have done it.
Yeah,
See the graphic right there. They've claimed the crown, and it is well deserved.
it almost feels anticlimactic in the end there because of how close this game has been for the entire match. For MC Solstice to go out like that is a bit tragic, but they have done so much. They've done so well, and they were so close at so many points to pulling us to a 7th map here. So really, no worries about that. Very well done to both of the teams here. Incredible job. I'm really excited to have been able to cast this incredible banger of a Rookie Division Grand Finals.
Now, looking at the MVP here for Finducks, I'm not sure who to pick. I think they all played incredibly well.
Yeah, that's a very valid concern. I think, can we give an MVP to the entire team? it always feels like that. There's so many incredible players, but I feel like we have to think of a real decision here.
I mean, I'm leaning towards Raw here. I believe Genji last game, they were doing quite well. They were doing a lot, and they, despite falling off the map, they were quite impressive, and they were very good at the character.
Yeah,
they got like a 4K at the very end there, which decided the outcome of the tournament.
I think that's very deserved as well, especially with the MVP race having been so close the entire match over. I think it's very valid to crown Voremimi the MVP of this grand finals. Great performance throughout the entire finals, playing so many different maps, so many different characters, and I believe getting a 4K on both of their attacks on the last map. Yeah, there's not much you can throw at me that will make me think otherwise.
Yeah. Now we do have the finals to the Challenger division, the slightly more difficult, slightly higher skilled league, coming up in over the next few weeks. And you can find all of the VODs for this entire tournament on the Crown Cup YouTube. That's Crown Cup. Just search it up on YouTube, you'll find it. But I believe that's it from us. I believe we are going to let you go for the night. But thanks for watching. This was a lot of fun. Maxu, do you have anything else to say?
Not really, no. Just go and enjoy your evening after a great banger of a match of Overwatch. See you soon again. Bye bye.